It's Bowling for the Bahamas and Celebrity Bowling Challenge to benefit the Bahamas Disaster Relief Fund. Sunday, December 1st, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. AMF Panorama Lanes, 1724 Genesee Street, Utica. Come have fun and enjoy a few games of bowling for a good cause. There will be prizes, food and drink specials, and some special challenges mixed in along the way. $20 per bowler or $100 per team includes 2 games and shoe rental. All proceeds go directly to the Bahamas Relief Foundation. That's Bowling for the Bahamas and Celebrity Bowling Challenge, presented by Disruption Network, Holy Pozzoli, and AMF Panorama Lanes. Sunday, December 1st, 1724 Genesee Street, Utica.
So you just bought your dream home, and now it's time to move. Let's face it, nobody likes to move. All the packing, unpacking, lifting, upstairs, downstairs, and broking everything, including your back. Let the professionals at EJA Moving Company take all the stress and pain out of your move. Competitively priced moving, relocation services, office moves, and complete packing and unpacking services. They work with everybody to make it simple and easy for you to move and relocate. Call EJA Moving Company at 315-335-0516. When it's time to relocate, have EJA Moving do all the work for you. Hit them up online, ejamoving.com.
Hey, Disruption Network. This is Mike Sacco, the general manager at Nye Volkswagen of Rome. If you don't know me by name, it's only because you have not received the best deal. There's only one reason to leave Utica, and that's to come see me in Rome and get the best deal on your next new, pre-owned, or certified VW. Mention that you heard this ad from Disruption Network and receive $250 off your next vehicle purchase. You'll know why our customers say, I love my Nye VW. Come see us at 5865 Rome Taberg Road in Rome, or visit us online at nyvwofrome.com.
Want to know what's going on at the D? Hit up DisruptionNetwork.net and check out our events calendar, brought to you by the Events Co. Find out about upcoming guests, special events, concerts, show schedules, community activities, and more. Get connected at DisruptionNetwork.net.
All right, listen up, everybody. This is former governor of California, Arnold Schwarzenegger. You're listening to the D-Line, only on Disruption Networks. That's the D. Do it now. Rah, rah.
The D-Line. Disruption Network's weekly football podcast. With your host, Chicken.
I will say, one of the greatest games I've seen this year.
Caleb.
There was no takeaways from that game. I mean, the takeaways were that we should have changed the channel early in the night.
And Phil.
Just fucking tit for tat, going back and forth, just a battle.
Oh my God, shit has hit the fan. Look at the replay. Garrett sacks Rudolph. They end up making out of the floor for a little bit, talking a little shit, and then watch this. Garrett rips off Rudolph's head, and then he fucking bops him right on the forehead, and then all hell breaks loose. My goodness gracious, the NFL hates to see this, Peter. Obviously, Rudolph a little bit outmatched, but this is on another fucking level. Rudolph gets up, talks shit. Garrett rips literally his fucking head off, holds the helmet, and then he just fucking goes all full Mortal Kombat right to his forehead. Punches being thrown. I mean, the emotions in this stadium for the 72 people that are still here. All I know is this, Peter. That's going to be... Watch this. Boom! Right there. Bop. And Mason Rudolph is fucking goo-goo gaga on the sidelines. That's not good. The NFL's not going to like this.
That sounds pretty accurate. Welcome to the D-Line, everybody. Wow. This is Chicken. We got Caleb.
Hi.
How you doing, Caleb?
Hi.
And joined as always with Sil. And join us today is Melanie, who is in from the American Cancer Society, who's coming, and she's the reason why we are doing our Thanksgiving Day square picks.
Yes.
Some money, earn some money,
help some folks.
Oh my God.
Raise some awareness.
Right.
Do we want to talk about this quick?
Get fat and eat money.
Do we want to talk about this quick, John?
Get fat and make money.
No, let her do her thing.
No, I just have to start. That was one of the most unbelievable openings to the show ever, Chicken.
Actually, yeah.
That's what I have to talk about. That was unbelievable. I was crisp right from the introduction to the video to you.
Yay!
Just way to go. All of our mics are on. All right. Melanie, let's hear it. Talk to us about our competition here.
All right. You want to talk about our competition?
Yes.
All right. So we're doing squares. Do you know what squares are?
I do know what squares are. I've lost money, $1 on those.
Where's our
but
camera?
Traditionally, traditionally, I've only done them during the Super Bowl.
I know, right?
But I like this new idea, in-the-season betting.
I love the in-season betting. I love betting, especially when there's no skill involved whatsoever. That's the beauty of the squares. So we're going to fill these up with all your names.
Mm-hmm.
Each game, we got one. Our Bills game is actually the second game.
Yes.
Bears, Lions.
Ooh.
Go, neither team.
Yes.
And we should state that she is a Green Bay Packers fan.
I am.
Yes.
We're not going to hold it against her.
NFC North. Black and blue division.
Yeah, it's
Cowboys,
true.
Bills. My husband is a Bills fan, so we say go Bills. We got to fill this one too. I know. And then we got the Aints and the Falcons.
Well,
the Aints and the Falcons.
3 weeks ago, that game had nothing written all over it. And
now it's a little more interesting.
Now the falconing.
So
the falconing begins.
Right. Buy a square, $5. You can buy one for each, 15. And once all the squares are filled, we're going to draw random numbers and assign them down here along this end, 0 through 9, 0 through 9. At the end of the first half, if your numbers match up, you'll get $50. At the end of the game, if your numbers match up, you'll get $100. And all the extra money that we're doing, that we're earning on this gambling thing, is going to go to our Real Men Wear Pink campaign to fight breast cancer.
That's awesome.
So how does one contact you to sign up for this and pay? And
Yes. So if you guys know these people, give them cash,
Any of us,
and they'll get it to me. Otherwise, I have a PayPal and a Venmo, and my PayPal is melfrancis7 at Hotmail, and then my Venmo is at Melanie-Francis-14, and it is all over the D-Line's Facebook page and
Instagram.
Disruption's got it on there too.
Is that Hotmail address HOTMAIL or HOTTMALE?
Wait 1 second. Does anyone have a pen and paper?
I don't want to confuse the people. And it's hotmail.com. I needed to say that.
He loves Hotmail.
Yeah. I mean, that was my first email address. I've had it for 20-something years.
I still have one as well.
Yeah. I use it for like all that weird stuff. I use my Gmail for talking and my Hotmail for everything else.
I use my AOL Instant Messenger to find chicks. You know?
Yeah. My parents still use their AOL.
It's so old they think you're cutting edge.
It's like, wow, these guys bringing something back.
It's my Prodigy account.
MySpace will be back soon enough.
Jeez.
Yeah, so it's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's great because, we love football. Yeah. We love to eat.
Yeah.
And you can just sit there and watch football, eat, and make money.
Yeah.
And if you don't make money, you help donate.
Right.
Yeah. Pretty easy too to donate to. I also have Venmo as well. You can just search my full name on there if anybody needs it. It doesn't have to. You don't have to do the whole meet up for cash thing anymore.
No.
So
yeah, you can Venmo any of these guys. PayPal.
And we'll obviously make sure it gets to the right spots, not to my bar habits on Thursday nights after the show.
This is I like this. This is an interesting idea. You came to me with this, and I'm like, I like this because. I mean, generally, you're sitting around on Thanksgiving, you're with your family, you're kind of watching the games anyways, but it gives you a little more something to pay attention to than just your,
halftime and the end of the game. You got two things to pay attention to.
You got to watch the Lions and the Cowboys. I mean, you might as well have something to cheer for.
Well, you get to watch your team. The Packers used to play
like I said, you got to have something to cheer for.
I'm very surprised the Packers aren't playing on Thanksgiving. Usually, doesn't that whole division usually play on Thanksgiving?
Well,
or at least the three of you
play.
guys? Yeah, I know the Lions traditionally have always.
And I think I think a couple years ago or however long ago they added that third game because it used to not.
Yeah, no, there only used to be two.
And now they added the third.
I like that they added the third.
Well, the third technically is the third would be that Thursday night game, right? That they added, so that's when they started that. I like that. I mean, I think it's cool. It's football all day. Yep. People are home. I know it's a big day to go to the movies, and then obviously, I feel like, and maybe you guys can correct me if I'm wrong on this. I feel like the whole shop is fucking. I feel like the whole shopping thing. I feel like the whole shopping thing's kind of been pulled back quite a bit. Like people aren't really going out for all those sales anymore on Black Friday and stuff. So you got a full day of football. Don't have to sleep in. Get ready for the sales at midnight and stuff.
I've already started. It's just click.
Right.
Don't
forget, I don't go to a store.
Don't forget the night before is the biggest night out of the year. Before Thanksgiving.
Party
so people
night.
are getting out hammered, Now you get to sit home, nurse that hangover.
And maybe win some money back from all the shots you bought the night before.
There's no London game.
No London.
They don't celebrate.
Just had to get that in there.
It's true.
So, all right. Well,
So does anything big happen?
Not really.
Dude, oh my God, where were you guys?
Not really. I did. So let's talk about obviously the biggest incident of the week. What we came in the show with.
The tryout?
Yeah, not
Right. I forgot about that.
Holding people back.
Yeah. So Myles Garrett goes absolutely berserk at the end of this game. At the end of the 21-7 victory over the Steelers.
Did you watch it?
I did. I was with probably half the rest of the population. I turned it off already.
Oh, I watched it totally. I was still
there.
watching it.
Did you see? You watched it? It's weird when you see those big moments.
We went down to the Varick Bar and Grill, and
been there.
And and of course there were a few Steelers fans, so it felt nice giving them a little something.
Yeah.
And then that happened.
And then that happened. So yeah, it was great. We were all just glued to the TV. You know, it was like JFK. And. Did I just show my age?
Yeah, I wasn't around.
It was like Lincoln. Remember where I was when Lincoln got assassinated?
Damn Franz Ferdinand,
Love that band.
Yeah.
So it was a big. How do you do?
I watched the game, and what I didn't understand, you got 8 seconds left in the game. Yeah. 8 seconds, and you just suck it up, walk away, do what you got to do. You did it the entire game, just 8 more seconds, and this is a whole different ball game.
Right.
And I mean, the ball game was out of reach. I mean, and there's nothing left to do. I put a lot of the blame on Mason Rudolph. Mason Rudolph attacked him first. Went after him. I'm not saying Myles Garrett handled that properly because he did not at all. No part of that was proper. But when you got a few linemen coming at you and swinging at you, I mean, he ripped the guy's helmet off. That should have been done right after that. And they should have pulled the quarterback aside. But nobody held Mason Rudolph back.
Nope.
You have your only quarterback really that has any merit right now.
That's a good point.
And you let this guy go without a helmet after a 300-pound monster who's in rage. And all your linemen are concerned with is hitting this guy. They're not concerned with saving their quarterback. They're not concerned with moving this guy off the field and making sure he's safe. But when he got clocked in the head with that helmet, I was like, holy shit, I can't believe. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe that just happened. And you thought he was going to be,
I thought he was going to go to the ground for sure.
I thought for sure he was out. You're looking at murder charges, assault charges. Because if he hit him with the crown of that helmet in his head, where it's dunsies.
Yeah.
Luckily, I was like, how is this guy still standing? Well, if you look,
it was just a glance.
Well,
right, he kind of moved.
He hit him with the padding part of the helmet. So now if he hit him with the crown of the helmet, way different story. But then they go and let him line back up to take the final slap. First of all, that final slap should not have happened.
Yeah, they should have just called the game.
They should have just called the game. The referees should have more responsibility than that. Bring these people back out. Everybody ran on the field. They should just let it go. There was nothing else can be done. But they bring Mason Rudolph back out there. That dude should have been under protocol. He should have been ejected.
Shit boiling. People's blood's boiling, too.
I couldn't agree with you more, man. He 100% escalated that event.
He first instigated it, then he escalated.
So how he got away almost scot-free with just a little fine blows my mind. You're just saying it's okay to start shit, just don't follow up on it.
I can't believe he didn't get he didn't get suspended at all.
Right.
Exactly. He should have been.
What did they want?
He was,
we didn't.
Yeah, he was very smug in his post-game press conference.
Well, his thing yesterday, his comments yesterday, his statement, I guess, that they worked on for 4 days.
Right.
Came out, and he's just like, it wasn't. Yeah.
No, it's
he
bullshit.
He pulled the bullying card too in the press conference. I don't know if you guys saw that afterwards. He pulled the bullying card, saying that that he called him like a bully and stuff like that, to try to kind of play into the culture and the way we are, the way some people are now to get exactly what you guys are talking about. Get poor pathetic me for somebody who instigated a lot of this.
I want to hit him with a helmet now.
Yeah, he.
I like Baker Mayfield the way he handled it during the press conference right after the game, and this is what sucks is the Browns just beat the snots out of the Steelers.
Oh yeah,
they're nemesis.
It was a dominating game. Yeah,
and they did a great job, and they played a great game, and they beat the Steelers at their own game. You should be happy, and then Baker Mayfield comes out there, and he's like distraught. He's upset, and he's like, we don't need this. Like, we need this guy going forward if we're going to make a playoff run. And he's absolutely 100% correct. And he's like, you hurt our team by doing this.
Yeah.
And then when they showed OBJ and Landry,
Jarvis
Landry in the post game, they showed the clip, and OBJ had never seen it. Neither one of them seen it until right then and there, and the look on their face was like, oh my God, like pure disgust and like, wow.
It seems like one of those huge unwritten rules in the NFL. Like, that's just something
Don't
that
use
doesn't.
your helmet as a weapon.
Yeah, I mean, I know
Weird.
I know it's weird, but like,
Happy Gilmore.
Probably written too.
I thought baseball had weird unwritten rules, but
it's. I mean, also like when you see that helmet go, it's always been play immediately stops. If you ever see someone lose a helmet, that's always been kind of the
Not
kind
like
of
hockey where they take everything.
exactly. Yeah, I mean. The one thing that sits with me for the whole thing too, and I think Chicken, you hit it because it was something I was thinking about. Them taking that last snap, that's the problem. That fuels things like this. That you bring those guys back out there, and somebody's close with Garrett. They don't feel it was a just situation. Sheldon Richardson was somebody right in there, and Sheldon Richardson from his days as a New York Jet, I know is a hothead. Okay, you leave that guy out there on the field. It's very similar to sometimes there's certain rules in the NFL where if a team wins on a last second a touchdown or something, you have to kick the extra point.
It's the Fail Mary that happened. Yeah.
You have to, and they'll bring everybody out of the locker room.
Left, right?
Yeah, they'll bring all these people out of the locker room. Do you know what it would take for a team that maybe just lost a huge game or something like that to have to come out of the locker room and how pissed off they're going to be? And you're putting exactly like you said, Chicken. You're putting player safety. You're putting player safeties in jeopardy.
Well, that's why they got rid of that rule.
Yeah.
In overtime, they don't force them to kick the extra point anymore because it's not necessary. So at this point, they should have, 8 seconds, the game's fucking out of hand, it's not necessary. 10-second runoff.
And how was it
penalties on both sides?
Why didn't they
10-second runoff?
And why didn't they put him in concussion protocol? The dude just got clocked in the head with a helmet.
I agree.
Especially after the problems he's had over the last few weeks of concussions. Let's not remember that too. Let's remember Mason Rudolph not being able to get off the field because of a broken cart. So he's had his bouts with head problems this year. You're right, Chicken. Why is somebody not pulling him off the field? The other thing too is, and I've seen that there was a clip last year where I believe it was a Seahawks player in Jacksonville got a beer thrown at him. And he was going to the locker room and then got another beer thrown at him and it hit him in the head.
Yeah.
Right.
And my question with that situation was, the fans are idiots. We know that. I don't blame that guy for getting pissed off and going back after him. But there needs to be people at these games that have these players under control, because it starts to make you think what could happen. We need to get some of these players and have people there that are making an impression on these players, getting them under control. These positional coaches need to step in, and they need to be moving these players away. At that point, it's just like the NBA. I have no problem if there's a fight on the field such as that some of these position coaches are coming off the bench to try to break up these fights. I know they're not wearing helmets, so maybe that is a tough spot because they're not all padded up. But man, there needs to be something that needs to stop these huge guys, not these small guys the size of Silbrith security guards. Okay, Silbrith, little guy. So we can't have that.
Rich Masucci from the 3 and Out crew is.
Wouldn't want you as our security guard, escorting him off the field.
Sup, bro? You even lift?
Masucci checking in from the 3 and Out crew, saying he's a Steelers fan. Obviously, he's going to take a little side with his boys. But he's saying Garrett slammed Rudolph on the ground at the end of the game for no reason. Ball was already long out of his hands. It was, but Garrett didn't know it. I mean, you could tell, just by the way he was bringing him
Still
down.
the rule, though.
Right. It should have been a foul. Call the flag.
Yeah.
Ball was out of the way, way above and beyond. When he was on the ground, definitely came unglued and got his hands up in Garrett's helmet and also tried kicking him in the groin. You forgot about that part.
Yeah, no.
Obvious frustration plus getting tossed like a rag doll. Nothing good came of it. And he says the fact that Garrett played in the race card to deflect the situation makes him a bigger scumbag. I hate when players use the race card.
Yeah, that's coming out more and more today.
You're a grown-ass man. You're in the NFL. People are going to do and say things just to get at you. You need to, shrug it off. I mean, we've been in the trenches still playing on O-line, D-line, and people say things, do things to get at you. You got to be a bigger person. When you got guys like Richie Incognito down there,
right.
Yeah, he's such a... and he plays for the Raiders.
It's funny you mentioned how we used to play like that. I'm like, seeing a guy use his helmet as a weapon, that's second nature to me. While we're watching, I was like, oh, well, we haven't seen that in a while.
I've never
everybody in the bar is shocked except me because I've seen it like a fucking dozen times, you know. And when I was a coach, the second I would see somebody's helmet come off and go like this, I'd peel out, and you stop trying to block the fight at that point. To get on your point, when there are people out there handling these guys, it's because you don't want to get fucking jacked up yourself.
You're absolutely right. You're right, John. I mean, that is a good point. That and it goes to show. I mean, all of those little things. Masucci's absolutely right. He really does hit home well on the Garrett problem.
Two ways to look at it, but the fact is not one is wrong or the other. They're both wrong.
Oh yeah,
they're
100%.
both absolutely 100% wrong.
That's why I don't understand why Mason wasn't suspended.
So that's we're happy. So we're okay. All of us can live at night with the fact that he's going to be that Garrett's done for the year, done for the playoffs, and who knows how much longer.
Right.
Because there hasn't been an official suspension. It's just been indefinitely without pay, and that's a lot.
And maybe some anger management.
Well, I was going to say maybe they should just take less roids. But.
Well, that's the thing. Now he's going to have to kiss ass for the next 9 months or so, and he can have no fucking contact with the team whatsoever. He's suspended. He can't fucking go there to exercise or anything. He's going to do everything on his own now.
Pay for it himself.
And this guy's a superstar.
It's a former number 1 overall pick.
He's a superstar on that team,
no training camp next year. Nothing.
But again, and again, everybody would just went after the fight. You know what I'm saying? Garrett, Rudolph, they're both wrong, but so are those linemen. I mean, I like what's his name there that got suspended for 3 games.
Knocked down to 2.
Knocked down to 2. I get it. You got to protect your quarterback. Absolutely, 100% protect your quarterback. Move your quarterback off the goddamn field when he's running after a 300-pound dude. 6'5".
Dude, he reacted swift, man. He was fucking pummeling him, dude. It was great.
Pouncey's always ready to fight, but.
Do you honestly though, Chicken? I have to put you in this spot though. Do you think a lot of this is kind of that fight or flight reaction? Like you just do it, just go for it.
That's Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers.
I think you're diagnosed. I think
Drew Brees, and they're chasing after somebody without a helmet on. I don't care if I'm on the bench. I'm picking that dude up, put him over my shoulder, and carry him to the sideline and say, "Get your ass here."
But in those guys who were on the field, they kind of lived the entire process of it, and we'll probably never really know exactly what happened because nobody was mic'd up for the game. But at the same token, it's kind of that just that reaction. Like when I let me ask you this: when you see one of your buddies getting the shit kicked out of him, do you go and try to fucking coddle your buddy, or do you go start kicking the shit out of the other people? You start kicking the shit out of the other people.
Yeah, but it's also like if that guy's my franchise and my win or loss.
We're not
you're in the heat of the moment.
We're in the heat of the moment. We're not diagnosing how much is that guy making here?
But these guys are professional athletes and they're trained to do that. Just like as being in a bar, I'm trained.
I disagree that
I've been in security for 15 years. I'm trained to break up a fight. Yeah. I'm trained to make sure everybody's safe.
You know what? I don't want Hodges about here. Let me go get Mason Rudolph off the field.
When you see your starting quarterback, I'm sorry, I don't care who you are. You see your starting quarterback getting into a fight, you grab them and pull them off the field, and you stop them. And we see why, because he could get clocked in the head with a freaking helmet.
I'm going to agree to disagree with you. I'm going to agree to disagree with you on this, but I like your thinking. I'd rather have your thinking. I'd rather more people have the thinking that you have, but I have to disagree that these guys are just fucking yahoos.
I think the adrenaline kicks in, and they just want to fight. I mean,
I agree. There's
the adrenaline is already
seconds left, guys.
Yeah.
They don't know.
8 seconds.
Yeah.
The game's over. We're not
just
even
get
talking
the
about.
fuck out of here, right?
Just kneel the ball and you're done. And why?
True.
Why are they even running a goddamn play?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Now that's testosterone for you. That's 100%.
Right, take a knee and be done.
Exactly.
I'm not fucking
over.
backing down. I'm going to show you. I'm going to fight till it says 00 on the end of the clock. That's male testosterone at its finest.
Troy.
Right.
So a couple of my friends are Browns fans. They said Myles Garrett's top-notch guy. They can't believe that he would do that.
Yeah. Right.
So if you kind of step back a little bit and think about the person that did it, they're even more shocked by it. And I don't know if that'll come into play later down the line. When
they're talking about it a lot, so I think they are trying to make a case that this is
so abnormal.
Yeah, because he's part of Chris Long's foundation.
Yeah.
And he's given a lot to charity.
I mean, that bodes well for him to get out of this quick, and I think it also is going to bode well for him too. That if he is that type of person, then this could be just a one-time blip, and then hey, we're done. You know what I mean?
Right. He took too many roids that day. He'll take less next time.
And here's the big question: what happens now when they do the rematch in less than 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Less than 2 weeks. Now you got a rematch. Now Baker Mayfield is a target. You know what I'm saying? Like now it's going to be real catty, real chippy, and people are going to be looking for revenge.
Well, they'll throw flags every.
So guess what we're all watching?
They're gonna put. I
As
think.
a fan, I'm looking forward to that game.
Think the NFL
the nighttime game.
Think the NFL flexes that game?
Yeah. Yes.
Literally flex.
With just the whole issue that came out today with the race card that we never heard anything about it. Like I was telling you guys earlier, I went through all the chats, and someone posted that, he mentioned the use of the word right after it happened, and they cited an article that had last week's date on it. Well, I looked at the article. The article was written this morning. And it was a very piss-poor Photoshop job on the date. And Brown's Wire always puts the date and time, whereas the Photoshop article only had the date on it. So it was a nice try for someone to try and make it look like it was a well-known issue. But no, it just came out today.
Yeah, it's just fresh.
Did you see anybody talking about, and I just saw this kind of peripherally last weekend, that the game was chippy the whole time, and that the Browns were targeting or like doing a lot of spearheading tackles? And did that come up?
No, but that's understandable. It's a divisional game.
Yeah. One guy did get ejected out of the game, and I didn't think it was justified. It was a flag. It should have been flagged. I forgot it was one of their safeties.
You're right. I don't remember who it was either.
And I looked at it, and I didn't think it was
targeting.
I think he went in for the tackle. It was a foul. It definitely was a flag. Possibly a fine, but I don't think he needed to be ejected from the game.
Right.
I don't think
it was weird. Yeah, I remember.
I've definitely seen a lot worse
for what he got kicked out for.
And I know they were trying to make an example.
But maybe there'd been some jawing and some crap going on that
you definitely
can't
seen some
hear,
jawing because Kareem Hunt. You've seen Kareem Hunt and Clay Matthews going at it,
right?
And you could tell like something was said that was probably a little personal. And which Kareem Hunt I think played a great game, and that's what pisses me off is like this game. Everything got.
I don't know the final score of the game. Not a clue.
It was like 21 to 7 or
Did
something
you
like
say
that.
Clay Matthews?
But the next.
Yeah.
I thought he was the Raiders.
He's with the Rams.
The Rams.
Oh no, not Clay Matthews. Who was?
I was like, I'm sitting here going, I'm like, no, man.
T.J. Watt.
Okay, yeah,
TJ
thank
Watt.
you. Woo.
The next.
He reminds me of Clay Matthews. That's why he does.
The next day, though, interesting enough, like I was talking about it at my job and stuff with everybody, a lot of people that work there, and I was like, did you see the game? What do you think? I asked my opinion and stuff, and I was like, what the worst part is? Like we digest the situation as we just did for a little while, and then I said to him, I was like, man, I don't even remember the final score of the game. Like that's how much this overshadowed it. That's how much that a little piece of news can overshadow something. Because not for nothing, fucking huge win for the Browns.
The Browns are playing great.
They were that game. They nitpicked them down the field. It was a thing of beauty to see.
Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt together, and then I heard after the interview with Landry and
Bandits just joined. Everybody be quiet.
OBJ and he's got something to say. Him and Masucci are gonna go at it. But I like the way that those two that was a big thing, saying that like all those egos, and you talk about all those egos on the Browns, and it's Myles Garrett, the guy goes writes freaking poetry that goes bonkers. Right. You know what I mean? Right. But listen to those two talk. You can see why you haven't heard much out of Odell Beckham. They're such good friends that they keep each other in line. Mm. And if you can keep that chemistry with those guys and bring it to your quarterback and bring it to the rest of the team, that team is something special. I mean, we had high hopes for the Browns, and we were kind of like, well, they're not really who they are.
You bought in.
We don't drink the Kool-Aid. I'm not going to say I did.
But this is year one. This is year one for them.
You're right.
They're still trying to figure themselves out. Then you add a guy like Kareem Hunt into it, which changes the entire focus of that team because Chubb is a monster.
Right.
But now you got two great running backs who can catch out of the backfield, and you got some great wide receivers. So this team was finally nipping that bugaboo, from the Steelers, and
because this is that hump. They're going, like you said, it's the first year for them, going through puberty, getting hair in weird places, voice getting a little deeper, and then that bully comes up to them and they punched him in the nose. Yep. This is that step for the Browns.
And you got to remember, in that division, it was always the Steelers and the Ravens. They've owned that division for the past 20 years, and nobody's really even challenged them lately. And now you got the Browns coming in there. They punked down the Cincinnati Bengals last year.
Right.
Now they're coming into the Steelers, and they played the Steelers game. They beat them handedly. And then this is marred. You know what I mean? Like this is that asterisk game. And now it sends your team into this whirlwind. They can either get stronger or they're going to become a clusterfuck.
But that's got to be Freddie Kitchens' message in the locker room though after that game. I mean, it's to get that team back focused on track. You can't mention Garrett
right now. They're the highest penalized team in the NFL.
Yeah, so you've got to
just in that game.
He's got a tough task,
and that's the way they were week one. And I think I don't think there's quite a mode of discipline there yet. But I think it's something huge for him how he reacts to this problem as well. I mean, he's had a lot. This guy's had a lot of tests in his short-term tenure here is running the Cleveland Browns, and I think this is going to be a major one too, to see if he can keep these guys focused again. This is something of now you have to look at Myles Garrett as something of the past now. He's not going to be with you the rest of the year. You know that. It's done. It's over with. You move on from the incident. Next man up. Let's go. Here we go.
Does he still count against the 52-man roster?
No, 53. Because I think he's on. I think he can be put on an exempt list. Or once you're suspended, you're
he's. They have to be able to. They can replace
somebody.
Yeah, they could replace him.
Well, at least they have the Dolphins coming in this week.
Yeah, I mean that's
that's a great point. At least they got cakewalks with the Dolphins, and then the Pittsburgh Steelers got the Bengals.
Right.
But
So that's
interdivision, they're chippy too. They've always, but there's no perfect. No one's perfect anymore.
Well, Myles Garrett, I guess now.
Yeah, right. And that's what I think is going to be the saddest part about what happened with Myles Garrett is because it's such a bad thing that he did, bad choice. But now it's going to be what he's known for,
right?
And now he's up there with Adama Kasu and Incognito and all these
Josh Allen.
Which there's two.
I went off on a rant
he
about
hates Josh
he's
Allen.
a fucking thug for Buffalo.
Wait, Josh Allen?
That really nice white guy that's the quarterback for Buffalo. He's just a real sweetheart.
Fucking lowers his head. Fucking scumbag.
Oh, he doesn't know how to run. Yeah, he's an idiot. I mean,
Put the city of Buffalo on his back. Really done a lot for the community. That Josh Allen. That's the guy who Silverth hates.
You're talking about the one for.
Meanwhile, I cheer for Buffalo. I just think their fucking quarterback's a scumbag.
Bandage taking a high road. He says, fuck the Steelers and their complete refusal to accept any responsibility. So. But the Steelers should take responsibility. They were at fault. Both teams were at fault. But yeah, there's some crazy shit, though. What else happened in the NFL besides that?
Nothing.
I almost don't want to talk about the other thing.
Oh.
Should we just go right over it?
Yeah, we talked about it enough last week, but nobody showed up for his.
Right. Well, that's the thing.
Because they moved it.
Everything we knew coming into Thursday just fucking did a loop-de-loop around Friday. They didn't agree to the waiver, and they sent back. Kaepernick's camp sent back another proposed waiver. And Saturday, the NFL said no. And it all comes down to fucking wording about Kaepernick coming back, and they wanted to nip he could sue them if he got injured during the workout. All right? That's what the NFL officially said. That's all. Yes, there was special wording in there, but it just revolved around him coming back and suing if he got injured.
Come on, do you think he'd really sue the NFL?
The NFL, I know, right? So the NFL, I guess, gave into his camera crew and his fucking. He wanted the film and the media being there. NFL gave into everything, and he still miraculously got another fucking field booked with security within a couple of hours of them declining to sign the waiver.
Teams bailed though.
Yeah, it went from 25-8.
Yeah.
That actually showed up. Hugh Jackson found out it got switched. He jumped right back on a fucking plane and got out of there.
Yeah.
He was supposed to run it. You know what? You want a job somewhere, and if they're only asking a little bit from you, I mean, that's the whole thing of a compromise. Both fucking parties walk away not happy.
Remember a guy named Doug Flutie?
Yeah,
remember
a little
that guy?
bit.
Little guy named Doug Flutie, and he played in the NFL, and he was pretty good. And then they deemed him too short, and he can't play in the NFL, and he's not NFL worthy. Then he went to this little place called Canada, and he played, and he ruled it for like 15 years, and he won every freaking thing possible. Go play freaking in Canada. Go play somewhere else, and prove to people that you can still ball. Like the NFL's not your only choice.
Because he doesn't care about football.
He obviously does if he wants to get back in.
He says he does, but he bit the hand that's trying to feed him. They're trying to feed you.
You would think,
and you just fucking bit it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I don't think he'd be well accepted in Canada either.
No, he would.
I think he would.
Maybe like
Come on,
fringy.
Canada's not so.
I don't think they'd really care. I don't think it would be. You know what? Actually, not really well accepted. I don't think they'd really give a fuck. I think the issue would just kind of be pushed off, and that's not what he wants.
Would be fine.
And
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, he could do really well up there. I mean, look at Doug Flutie owned the Canadian Football League.
But how much money did Doug Flutie make up there versus how much he left on the table here? Or could have made.
Well, yeah, that's also one of the other problems why he won't play for the XFL because he wants too much money.
Right.
Yeah.
But now you're not making any money.
Mark Trestman is ruling the roost up there as a coach. So you're right. Go there.
I'm saying, like, go and play, and what'll happen is you'll be up there balling. Because, I mean, the talent level is not going to be as good as it is in the NFL.
Right.
And you're going to ball, and people are going to say, oh, shit, Kaepernick really got something going, and they're going to take a chance. That's why you see you guys getting signed from the arena leagues, especially wide receivers, because it's fast pace. But you're still playing. I mean, what was it? Kurt Warner was playing Arena League for a while. Go out there, still play, still show people that you have talent, that you're still able to play the game.
Right.
I think he's toast.
Yeah, he's his days in the NFL are done.
Yeah.
I think Tebow's got a better chance.
I'm done having faith in him. I last week I remember saying I think he's signed by Tuesday. I feel like an idiot. I have too much faith in the human.
I have no problem. I have no problem either way. If he signs, he signs. If he doesn't sign, he doesn't sign. I hope he gets. I hope he gets his chance. If a team deems it necessary to give him his chance. But I go back to the fact that it would be very tough to sign somebody given the fact of given the trend of certain quarterbacks that have played in the NFL this year. A la the Jets, a la the Jaguars. Teams haven't had a problem going to inexperienced rookies or unproven veterans, practice squad quarterbacks this year in a handful of situations. Okay,
but isn't that his point? Is that he's better than them?
Yeah,
he's been blackballed, and that's why he's not getting those.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, go somewhere.
But Melanie, he was still bringing it upon that himself with having that lawsuit still going with the NFL. The NFL is not going to let you suit up. The players union wouldn't take that risk, So, like, for me, it's like, yes, you're absolutely right. It's that idea that he's not getting the shot and stuff like that. But as we keep saying. And as John perfectly put it, I didn't even know that stuff about the workout. That was great information. Perfectly put it. He keeps shooting himself in the foot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's the tough part.
Tom Belf's checking in saying it's all political stunt, and it probably could be. And I think that's why the NFL really wasn't pushing this. And that's a shame because he could really want to get back in the league, but it just comes off as a political stunt.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, if you really want to play. You're going to play.
You set all your differences aside, and you do what you got to do to get what you want. He doesn't want it. He doesn't want it.
You remember
other guys have.
Remember when Charles Sprewell choked his coach and stuff like that? And you talk to some of these NBA players, they go overseas and play. They'll go to Italy. They'll go someplace else and keep playing. And coaches want to see a guy that,
has passion for it.
It has passion for it, and will play for little dollars, and will still play the game at a high level.
Yeah,
I agree. I'd give my left nut to play one more season. But
you already gave both of them away.
Eric Reed.
You're a married.
Eric Reed. Eric Reed, Malcolm Jenkins, guys like that found a way to make it work. Chris Long found a way to work too, and Chris Long took a pretty hard stance with those guys as well. And not a lot of people realize that he went to the aid of a lot of the guys that had this outcry of the injustice that was going on. And as we went down the road of last time on the show, they made their point. I think they did a decent job of it. I don't agree with everything that they did at all, okay, but they went about it. And so, Cap, they were able to get back in the league. They didn't blackball themselves. You wanted to be the face of this. Now you live with being the face of this. And this is what happens to the face of it. Hate to say.
Well, no, but that's the thing. He could have gotten back in.
Exactly.
He could have.
He could have gotten back in last
Somebody,
week.
I believe it was Ray Nation, posted a thing saying that the Steelers were interested in possibly trying out.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I'm like, how kind of fucked up that would be for the Steelers to grab him in time for that Browns game. Right. Like the sacrificial lamb. All right, you want back in, pal?
Awesome, yeah.
Here you go. That's going to be brutal.
That would be funny.
But you know what? Earn your medal, man.
You got 2 weeks. Go.
Bandage is checking. Well, he checked and he said, anyway, nap time for me. Enjoy the NFL. I'm riding out the fantasy season and walking away. Browns and Raiders jersey to a good home.
No way.
You're a Browns and Raiders fan, and this is what makes you want to stop watching watching football?
What a quitter.
Like, the past 20 years should have made you want to stop. Now your teams are actually doing good.
Well,
all right.
I mean, they've won 4 games.
You've got hang on, but he's got
Let's not get ahead of
There is a lot of upside to those 4 games. I mean, really,
and the Raiders have been playing really good
Raiders
too.
have won 6.
The Raiders were surprisingly won 6. Another thing I want to touch on is a little guy named Trubisky. And when the game was on the line last week, when the game was on the line last week, he was on the sidelines. And the coach
game was over.
No, game was not. over.
Your game was over.
Game was over.
They still had plenty of time.
There was. I agree with you, Chicken. I think he got soft.
They got plenty of time. It was the old Cutler for.
They couldn't stop fucking Gurley all fucking game. The game was
not over. You still had a chance, and you take.
I agree with that, but
you take your starting quarterback out of the game, saying it was a hip problem. I don't know if I buy that.
I read that they're watching. They were watching his movement after halftime, and they were saying he was no longer using the lower half of his body for throws, which is what you 100% need. He was using all arm, and that's why the throws were sucking in the second half. So the smart move was take him out. If you want any shot at him playing this Sunday against a very winnable game against the Giants, you got to take him out and any chance of him getting re-injured.
I don't know.
Is he on the? What's the prognosis today?
He's questionable. Day-to-day type of thing. I don't know. It's that point of the game. You wrote it out with him the entire game.
He's not on the injury report.
Right. It's just very sketchy. It's very sketchy. And which to me, he plays better in a 2-minute offense. We've talked about this for the past 4 weeks. The only time this dude actually plays well is when he's under pressure.
Okay, but if he's only using his arm, those throws we need aren't going to get there. That's all I'm saying. He can barely hit a fucking dump-off pass for a fucking screen, which he throws over the head 90% of the time. I'm expecting him to go out with no leg movement at all. Hip movement in his throat.
But he's not on the injured.
He's not
injury report.
You guys like 2 old ladies talking about what time you're gonna go to all you can eat pasta and Eddie Cavallo's.
Dude, could you go get me another warm beer, please?
Jesus,
fucking asshole.
That team. Listen, Trubisky. You think he's got anything left in his head? No. He's fucking done. He's toast. He's mentally checked out. You're absolutely right, Chicken. I don't buy it for a goddamn second that he had a hip flexor. All right?
No.
I don't care. It somehow he miraculously played the whole game, Melanie. He had a hip flexor.
Right.
Makes no sense to me. Chase Daniels, the poor guy was put out there. It almost like he didn't even know he was coming in.
I know exactly what's wrong with the Bears.
O-line, 100%.
Well, the O-line is absolutely garbage, and I'm playing them in fantasy league, and anytime I pick anything on fantasy, they just shit the bed.
That's probably right.
You're one of those guys who picks your hometown.
Yeah, you don't pick
No.
your team.
That's how it was done. It was like through Dave. He set it up so you pick your team, and you roll with your team.
Oh,
it's a fantasy so you don't have to play against your team.
I must have been busy when you got the invite for that league. Huh?
Never played that.
You're lucky stars now, aren't you?
Yeah, but at least the Jets can score. Jesus, I feel like Silbert at the bar. I can't score for shit.
Well, when your pants are down most of the time at the bar, odds pretty much plummet.
Oh my God! Oh, Melanie, thanks for coming.
You're welcome.
We better keep this show moving here.
Let's just get a little bit into the playoff picture here because I think there's a couple races we should touch on.
Stinking races.
So the AFC, to be honest with you, is besides with the exception of the wild card in the South, like. And the West is good, but New England's wrapped up in AFC East, obviously. Buffalo won't catch them. Buffalo's a great story. I think Buffalo will be a wild card team, definitely, though.
Buffalo's offense is not very good, but
it's hot.
She's
right.
It's not. I have to watch a lot of Buffalo games. Hi, honey. And they're not very good. But the thing that's in their favor is their strength of schedule. It's crap. I mean, they don't play anybody with a winning record, or except for the Patriots.
That is true, and
let's look at
Melanie. We've discussed
Bills' remaining schedule.
We've discussed this last week at the show, and I put this out to a couple Bills, and we actually Jamie was here to discuss it with us too. But I just feel like every time I watch them, I'm getting closer and closer, and I'm waiting for that moment where it's like, okay, Buffalo. It's time for you to be Buffalo.
Right.
It's like it feels like it's just about to I almost thought they had that moment half of the first half of think back, the first half of week 1 when they played the Jets, I thought they were having that moment where it was going to be real bad for the Bills the whole year, and then I thought they had another moment after the New England loss. I thought we could go down that road again.
They keep kind of coming back,
and they just keep coming back.
Yeah.
Their schedule is rough. Okay, so this week, home versus the Broncos, then they're at the Cowboys.
Oh, that's
then they're home versus the Ravens. Then they're at the Steelers. That's a good game for them. But then they're at the Patriots, and then they get another good game at home versus the Jets.
Yeah, we talked about
the
end of the season is not good.
This week is a teeter-totter game, but and 2 of those are probably wins. But there's 3 losses staring at them.
And that's the thing. That's the thing, John. So
Baltimore, New England,
Cowboys, maybe.
I think they can take the Cowboys,
but Ravens and
Cowboys?
Patriots.
So we're putting a lot of the Bills season at 10-6. I think gets them to the playoffs.
I disagree with the Ravens. I disagree with the Ravens.
We were going to talk about this later. You are still not a Ravens believer.
How are you
No.
Are you drunk?
I'm thinking if there's a team that can disrupt the Ravens, it's the Bills because they got a strong front line and a lot of their plays take time to form. Like it takes a lot of time to develop, and I feel like the Bills can be in their backfield before those plays even get going.
I think they're going to have a tough
Lamar
time.
Jackson will just run right by.
I think Lamar would give. I see your point.
Houston only scored 3 points on him this past, or 7 points on him this past week, and Houston's got a good D. Now they're Wattless, but they just fucking destroyed them.
They did.
Yeah.
They beat them up, and Mark Ingram is a beast.
But Buffalo goes 3-3 the rest of the way. 10-6 is a playoff team as far as I'm concerned.
Yes,
but even if they drop those
10-6.
3 games, I still say that
it's still 10-6.
And I think they got something to build on. Like we said that they got a great defense. I like Josh Allen. I think they need some weapons.
They need.
They need some.
All they have is John Brown. Who's John Brown?
Right, John Brown's body.
That's all I think of every time I hear him. I'm like, oh, that band.
He's no John Connor, but
they need some big weapons.
They do, and I think a tight end would do him.
Yeah,
real
they've
well.
got Knox, who's a rookie. I mean, he's all right, but I don't know. Josh Allen to me is just very inconsistent. Sometimes he looks great, and then other times he's just throwing it all over the place, and he misses like crazy.
If you give him like an AJ Green or somebody like a main target that for sure that guy's going to catch it most of the time.
They had Sammy Watkins, but he couldn't stay healthy.
He never had Sammy Watkins.
Watkins
was already gone.
No, the Bills they've had good weapons there, and they've just
Terrell Owens.
Typical Buffalo way. I mean,
Antonio Brown was supposed to go there, but I still don't think in that locker room wouldn't have worked. But they need somebody like
an AJ Green,
an AJ Green, soft-spoken team guy, somebody that demands respect.
Yeah, we said that. Yeah,
I think that's who they need, and then some young speedsters, and I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean Singletary is getting better.
Yeah,
was their running back.
It's a heavy growth pain there with him. But he's been very good he's been just like Josh Allen. When he's been really good, he's been good.
Right.
And hopefully they can kind of get them both in sync to almost be 80-20 with that give and take of 80% being good and 20. We'll take the 20% shit.
Tom wants to know what's wrong with Beasley. Beasley's good. He's
he's all right.
He's a role player. Yeah. He's a strong role player.
He lit up a few weeks ago.
But he's not your demand double team type of guy. Right. He's not the guy that's going to catch that hard ball in the back of the end zone. They need that guy.
I think Buffalo is pleasantly surprised with what they've done this year.
I'm definitely surprised.
You think they're surprised with what they've done?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think
they played the Patriots.
I think
that game.
I think really the way that they retooled that roster through the offseason, I think it was kind of built to be more of an 8-8, 9-7 team. And hey, this is the year, the developmental year, and then we get over the hump, and then next year is real compete. And you're also, not for nothing, it's a very smart plan, and it's one that I think all 3 of these teams really have to start gearing toward, and Miami might be the one in the best spot in a few years when Tom Brady goes, because you're probably going to need a new front runner in that division or somebody to really push that division.
And I feel like it's easier to
they'll just reload.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like it's easier to create a better team through defense, have a strong defense, even if your offense kind of sucks. You can win a lot of close games.
Yeah.
Because we see a lot of these teams with great offenses and have really bad defense. Atlanta Falcons, places like that just can't do it. So I feel like if you're going to build a team like that, especially in Buffalo, where it gets cold and you're known for your defense, I think they're doing it right. And I think with the running game and the defense, that's why I think like next year you add those pieces.
Yeah.
In,
Are you saying defense wins championships?
Hell yeah, I'm saying defense wins championships.
AFC North, Baltimore, I think is a shoe-in. I don't think any of these three teams are going to make the playoffs. I think the Steelers are about ready to the air is about ready to come out of that air balloon, hot air balloon. So I think they'll come back down to earth. I don't think Cleveland's going to make too much of a push here. Indy and Houston, I mean, that's going to be tonight. I think we can get to this game when we talk about our picks.
But look at the Raiders right there.
The Raiders are right there. They are a half game back of Kansas City. Kansas City, who even last week, I mean, was it the prettiest last week?
No, I mean, they didn't score a fucking point in the fourth quarter. Actually, mid-third to fourth quarter.
That was a really good game. Though.
Yeah,
that was a really good game.
Yeah, and
I mean, 4 picks. You feel fucking, I don't blame you. The fourth quarter was uneventful.
Phillip Rivers leads all quarterbacks of all time in games lost by less than 7 points.
Show us your tie rod.
I've had Phillip Rivers as my fantasy quarterback every year since he's been. I mean, he's a great fantasy.
Yeah, he is.
And you're just like, why?
He cannot.
Why do you lose so many games?
He can't win at the end of the game. He can't run the 2-minute offense. It's.
I'd like to see him bring in Tyrod Taylor or bring in.
Oh my God! Please, can we not talk? Can we go one show without talking about that fucking scrub?
That's Al's favorite.
Oh my God, he's such a scrub.
He was a gamer, dude. He was a guy that came in and did what he needed to do.
Yeah, well,
and Phillip Rivers is like, you're starting to see, like, he's still a great quarterback. But if I'm the Chargers, I'm thinking like I got to move on.
Yeah, you have to make a decision here quick, and I think the Chargers are in a very precarious situation because this team is really stacked to kind of win in a lot of different places. I mean, obviously, there's places they can improve, but really on the offensive side of the ball, they are stacked to win. And it's like, okay, do you digress to the bringing in a new quarterback with all these guys, or do you kind of just hope that Phil can do it for a little while longer? It's going to be a lot of questions. A lot of different questions are going to be, answered by the Chargers this offseason. And also the Chargers, I from what I understand, are having, second thoughts about moves and what's going to happen. I've heard that this move has not gone well for them.
Well, just
they don't have any.
So, you want to talk about moves?
What? Damn it! I got a point, but I will in a second. The way this game progressed this past week was, Phillip Rivers was doing better when they were using Gordon more. Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah. Then all of a sudden they just like shifted away from him, and that's when really at least 3 of the picks happened when they got away from the running game. It's like San Diego's one of those teams. They got a good defense, decent defense,
some great superstars on that defense.
Yeah, but they need to ball control more, and having Phillip Rivers throw for fucking 40 to 50 times a game is not the answer.
No.
Yeah.
Especially he's 38 years old, somewhere around there. Yeah.
I think too. And I've said this for a long time about him. He's got that very, very weird arm.
Drives me.
His arm action is not something you look for in a quarterback.
He is, the epitome of what I would coach not to do for throwing a ball.
Yeah.
But it works for him. I don't know if he's got some tightened muscle up into his shoulder where he just can't do it because it stops here. It's so weird. He doesn't follow through.
I will tell you though, I noticed it the other night. He definitely still has legs, so he can definitely still move.
He can run. He can definitely move, like EJA Moving Company. Professional movers at 315-335-0516. Competitively priced moving, relocation services, office moves, complete packing and unpacking services. They work with everyone and make it simple for you to move and relocate. That's EJAMoving.com. When it's time to relocate, have EJA Moving do all the work for you.
Thanks, Sil.
You're welcome.
So now we did the AFC. Let's talk about this NFC.
Did we go through the whole thing?
I thought we just went through the AFC right here.
Yeah, I think he finished with.
All right, fine.
I mean, we talked about the Chiefs.
Yeah,
because
he just went with the Chiefs. Well, we didn't talk about.
Yeah, we didn't talk about the NFC race here at all. The teams looking outside in. I'm looking at the Rams and the Eagles, Panthers, Bears. Yeah, none of those teams really surprised me. None of those teams are thinking.
I'm more surprised at the Vikings. They looked pretty. They were good at first and then shitty for 3 games, and now they've come back.
Yeah.
Are they going to have a letdown again?
Yes.
They are. Unfortunately, they are.
That's the only way I feel the Rams or the Eagles. And the Rams got a tough task this week against Baltimore, but can the Eagles sneak in with that? I don't think the Rams are, but I think.
I mean, the Cowboys got 6-4. Okay, look at the NFC East. I'm sorry, the NFC North. You got Packers 8-2. You got the Vikings 8-3.
That's it. That's all you're getting
it,
from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then I mean,
You're
okay,
not getting anything else out of the NFC South.
I don't think so either. But when you look at like
But then you get the West.
NFC East,
Oh.
6-4. The Cowboys are in the lead at 6-4.
Anything can happen there between the Eagles and the Cowboys.
And you
Like
guys
a
remember,
baseball record.
You remember back when the Seattle Seahawks went in at like, was it 9-7 or something like that?
right,
Those other
right.
teams with way better records. Yeah. And that pisses me off because it's like, I hate that the divisional winner automatically gets into playoffs.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that.
You know what I mean? Because there's other teams that deserve to be in the playoffs that I'd much rather see than anybody out of the East. I'm sorry.
Nobody ever wants to see anybody out of the East.
Yeah, right. Like,
I'm almost positive that was the year the Bears went 10-6 and didn't get in, and I think Seattle got in with 8-8, something like that, or something. I was so pissed because it's like, dude, you get 10 years. I mean, even in college, they get a fucking bowl game for that. You know, I mean, they get something.
And you look at some of the competition now. I mean, like the NFC West. I mean, look at the competition. The NFC West is just unbelievable.
Is John making a play for participation trophies now?
Yeah. No, we're actually just the opposite. We're saying, like,
no, I do not believe in those either.
We're talking about how divisional winners.
How'd I know, John?
automatically get the playoff spot, even though they're 3-4 games behind other division leaders or other people who
other wild card teams.
Yeah, and I mean, you look at the 49ers. You got 9-1. Then you got the Seahawks 8-2. Then you got the Rams 6-4. So 6-4. The Rams are the third in their division and tied with the
Cowboys. Who are first.
Tied for the last wild card spot.
Right. So like I'm looking at it like,
or one game out. I'm
no,
sorry.
yeah, because Minnesota.
Yeah, Minnesota. So, and you look at the numbers. Everybody's got at least 8 wins except for the Cowboys.
Right.
And like I just don't think that's right. I think that
it's a lot of seasons.
We run into this. This happens a lot in sports. It usually shakes itself out toward the end. I mean, this is
Notre Dame will get in.
Always. Or Ohio State.
The Catholics, not the convicts. I think a lot of it's kind of a roundabout explanation for this, but a lot of this stems from this is why you have wild cards. This is the reason that you have 2 of those, and I think this is also adding in the element of that wild card game. The fact that it used to be, I believe it used to be the 2 wild card teams would just play each other the first weekend, and then there would be a 2-round bye. I believe like years and years back, and now it's the 2 wild card teams play the two teams with the worst record. Of divisional winners.
Yeah, so 3 and 4.
The team at the top gets
so that's essentially your way of
5 plays 4.
That's your way of getting rid of that. I understand what you're talking about is the teams that are on the outside looking in still.
Right.
But you know what? That just means you should have won one more game.
it doesn't matter if they win one more game. It's because you're looking at the Cowboys who are 2 games behind the lowest person.
Oh, so you're saying
let's say Seahawks are 12-4 and the Cowboys get in with a fucking 9-7 record.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
That's a bunch of horse bananas.
Yeah, and I also believe the division winner gets the home game for that wild card game too.
Yes, yeah, they do.
Yeah, I think when Jacksonville and Buffalo played a few years ago, I think that was an issue too.
How about this? All right, well, I'll meet you halfway.
No, you won't.
All right,
this guy.
So division winner still gets in, but it's based on record, the seeding. So if you've got a wild card team that's got a 12-4 fucking record, and they're higher than the division, the wild card team gets the home game.
Ooh, he's hot. Ooh, he might have a point here.
Bandage just checked in again. He said,
I'd be okay with that.
Just pop back in to make an offer. If all you're interested, I'm willing to donate my Raiders jersey as an act of additional items for the ACS Thanksgiving fundraiser. I plan on donating my Browns items to the local Browns backers for their Christmas time charity efforts. Let me know.
What's the Raiders?
Yeah, who's the Raiders jersey?
Depends on who it is.
Yeah, I mean, is
it Woodson? I'll take it.
It's Wisnowski.
Marshawn Lynch.
Marshawn Lynch. No, I don't think it's a Lynch.
I bet Dave has.
He's one of the 5 guys that ran out and brought an Antonio Brown jersey.
Poor Dave out there wants to give us a donation, and we're like, "You'll shit on this guy a little bit for."
How good is it? Tell him to just buy a square.
Yeah.
He couldn't spare a square.
So should we talk just about a couple of these games from last week? We're good on the playoff picture, right? Should we talk about just touch on a couple of these games from last week?
Sure. Let's do it.
All right. Well, my Jets won. I hope you guys all saw that. I just wanted to make sure that was clear. Okay.
I even left that off the sheet. And he still got it in there.
So that was a pretty fucking big win.
That's a lot of points you put up too.
Yeah, 34. They've been scoring. This team has been scoring points. So, okay, John.
What?
The Atlanta Falcons beat the Carolina Panthers. I think we found out who the real Kyle Allen is.
They ruined my sheet. Ruined it.
Yeah. That was just a game I did not see coming. Atlanta's doing something. Maybe that coordinator change that I was mocking for a couple of weeks there. Maybe it was done them some good, but
yeah, I take it back. I take it back. Their defense looks like they don't look like anywhere near like they were the first 9 games.
Yeah,
it's a total turnaround. They're way more aggressive, and I noticed too watching the game that they moved, even though there's problems on the O-line, Matt Ryan was moving out of the pocket a little bit.
Yeah.
So anytime he dropped back for a 3-step drop, that's when he would get in trouble again.
Yeah.
But when they were moving him, he was able to get the passes out. They ran the ball a little bit better. They got away from it again in the second half. I don't know what the fuck teams are doing that. Stick with the fucking run game, you piece of shit. But
and especially we're in a John, it's crazy too because we're in a 2 running back system. It's not like okay, well, Emmitt Smith went out and took every handoff for the first half, and now we need to get him a little bit of rest. It's like no, you can come back with the running game because you have this second guy.
What kills me is they had the lead, an incredible lead in the first half, like 20-3 or whatever. And you would think they would try to burn down some clock in the second half, and nope, they just kept relying. But at least they figured out, all right, we've got O-line problems. Let's at least make him a little mobile and they made passes shorter. So it was a short dump over the middle, a short pass outside. They stopped with the long routes, so they learned from it. I fucking wish the Bears would do the same.
Yeah.
I don't understand why every team doesn't just do the split across the middle like the Patriots do.
Five and out.
Yards every freaking time.
Edelman.
Mm-hmm.
But Carolina, interesting statement from their owner this week after they do have a new owner now.
Who is it?
Dave Tepper. That's his name is because of the whole Jerry Richardson scandal last year.
That guy's a douchebag.
Yeah, he is a prick, big time, and. So basically, Tepper came out and said that he said we are, mediocrity is not going to be accepted. We are going to win. We are like this is, some owners, like fucking coy ass Woody Johnson and Chris Johnson, who are softer than fucking baby shit. All right, they'll come out and be like, well, we really like the job Adam Gase has done. We're really proud of the way he handled the adversity this season. Going 3-7. No,
he reaffirmed he's coming back again.
Yeah, and then we're gonna give him the vote of confidence, boys. Don't worry. No, Dave Tepper came out and said I'm not accepting mediocrity and people's jobs will be evaluated at the end of the year. And fucking good.
So Tepper flared.
Man, I make such a good point, and then Chicken just runs through. Oh no, Melanie, no.
Fucking
don't give him that.
Thanks, Melanie.
Your dad jokes are on Jedi level.
So I haven't paid too much attention to the Panthers.
Nobody has.
Right. Is Cam hurt? Legit?
He's done for the season.
Legit hurt though?
We don't think so. We've surmised about this for a while.
Okay.
Yes,
the owner
legit hurt.
His ego.
Yeah, his brain. I think
Sil really likes the guy.
I do not like him at all. I fucking loathe the rumors that he's going to be a Bear next year. No.
Oh, that'd be so fun.
Oh my God.
Shut it.
You can have one. That would be so cool.
The Liz Frank injury is no joke. I mean,
oh, that
that's not even what worries me. Like him going to the Chicago Bears, talent wise. I think he's got great talent. There's something wrong with that dude's medulla
He will
oblongata.
get chewed up in Chicago. They will not suffer that.
No, and that's it. Like coming on, like wearing a scarf and all that crap after a loss, and it's like nobody's gonna put up with that.
No.
Like
It'll be interesting.
Bring back Mike Glenn.
To be honest with you, I think that Cam's going to have to. I think Cam's going to have to go back to Carolina. I think the cap hit would be $19 million if they were to release him.
He ain't going anywhere.
There's
not going to release him.
No team is going to give anything higher than probably a 5th round pick if they're going to take up $19 million in cap for a quarterback with 1 year left on his deal. Yeah. So nobody's going to give up. Nobody's going to give up any sort of draft prospect for him. So I think he does end up going back, but it could be interesting to see if maybe it's with a different head coach, because I think this guy's real serious about shaking things up.
Riverboat Ron, that's still their coach, right?
Yeah,
Riverboat Ron.
But I think like with that statement that the owner said, I think you're going to see some major changes, and I think it's going to be, you might see a different coach or not coach and quarterback.
He's been there for a long time, right?
Yeah, Ron's been there for a while.
Yeah,
back when they went to the Super Bowl,
right? And they've been bad the past couple years.
Yeah, he's been there since 2007.
Yeah. So right after the year the Bears went to the Super Bowl, remember?
He left. Yeah,
How'd that go?
Oh my God! Give me a helmet.
Baltimore just ate up Houston. We talked about that earlier. I mean, that was very surprising to me. 41, dropping 41 on them that's shit. That's a heavy load. Oh God. And the Patriots over the Eagles for me. That was a really good. Actually, it was a good game, and the Eagles were in it. The Eagles just kept shooting themselves in the foot repetitively.
Yeah.
And I mean, Tom went on WEI this week in Boston and showed his frustration, really lashed out, and was not happy with the offense. I mean, there was the only passing touchdown in this game was by Julian Edelman. So
I know
who had a perfect passer rating, by the way.
I had Tom Brady on my freaking team.
Yeah.
I think if Jordan Howard were healthy for that game, and they had, because
Alshon Jeffrey was not healthy either.
Yeah,
they were missing both of them
against New England. That's so hard. Yeah. I mean, you can't overcome that. I liked that Kansas City Chargers game. I thought that was a great game, and I liked that Kansas City changed the way they play offense. The Chargers took away the long pass with that fierce pass rush.
And who got hurt in that game? Was it
LaShawn McCoy?
Oh, did Tyreek Hill play the whole game?
Tyreek Hill got hurt too. Yeah, early on.
Yeah.
And then McCoy got hung out to dry. He hung him out pretty bad. But you take Tyreek Hill out of the game, that shortens the field big time.
Yeah.
But I like that the fact that Kansas City could change up the way they play and play bigger ball. Hitting the tight end, the running game. They showed that they can actually change up, which is.
I like that Shady still plays.
Yeah, I do too, and I think that's a great system for him.
Yeah,
they can really highlight his talent and what he can do. So I like him being there. But man,
that Arizona-San Francisco game, did you watch any of that?
I did not. I seen the highlights of that. But.
Well, I was paying attention in the first half when Arizona was up, and it gave me a little bit of hope for the weekend. Could suck it.
That Broncos-Minnesota game came right down to the wire, which
Broncos have been playing strong all year, man.
Minnesota came back from like 20-0 down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Broncos, man. I feel so bad for the Broncos.
Should be so much better.
They've been so many close games.
They've been strong all year. I mean, it not strong because I guess they aren't getting over the hump, but like, man, it's just like you said, it's just tough to kind of watch that and see that. So for them, but we'll see. Shall we get into picks but pay the bills first?
Yes, let's do it.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, stop into the showroom at 5865 Tabor Road in Rome and see why all their customers love their Nye VW. Mention Disruption and receive
$250 off
any purchase. Check out the inventory at nyvwofrome.com for all of your car needs.
Thank you, Caleb. So we're going to start with the first game, tonight's game.
No, actually, last week we're going to review last week's pick.
Yes, I like that. That's a good idea. I like that, John. I like that. I like that. Let's review the records.
So our guest last week, Jamie, came in at 10-4.
Solid performance.
Caleb, what a great week for
Caleb. Finding my legs finally.
Came in at 12-2.
Thank you.
What were your two losses?
Oh, I don't remember. Atlanta, I know.
Atlanta, and you picked. It was a weird one. Shit, I can't remember, but
I can tell you in a second here.
And then Chicken came in at 9-5, but then I got falconed, so I came in at 13-1.
This is why he had to say it.
So
he didn't want to skip by it.
Mad.
Did I pick the Eagles last week?
No, you did not. You did not pick the Eagles last week, and which caught me really off guard. I don't remember, but I got your sheet.
It's okay.
I need to look at it.
The Steelers?
Probably.
So go ahead. Who wants to start us off?
So tonight, honestly, gentlemen, so going into tonight, primetime games this week. This is the fourth time in the modern era of the NFL that all matchups include a team at 500 or over for the primetime games in the NFL. The fourth time this has ever happened. So we have good Thursday night games.
Nice. Good primetime games.
Primetime games, sorry, yeah.
For Monday, Sunday, and Thursday.
Oh,
I got to say, like, you always dog on the primetime games, but these primetime games are pretty good.
Awesome. We'll take them. So tonight it's going to be the Indianapolis Colts traveling south to Houston, Texas to play the Texans. Texans are at 2:00, a 3.5-point favorite. And I think this game is going to be a good one.
And they say that T.Y. Hilton says it's like his second home because he always blows up in this game.
Yeah.
Right. I just Indy owns this series right now, and it's tough to ignore. Houston has not been playing since Watt's been gone. Their defense has taken a notch down. I just, the Indy lost Mack for 3 weeks, fracture in his hand.
Who's his replacement?
it's like
Williams?
by committee. And somebody was
Williams is his last name.
Was hurt too and questionable because I had Mac and I had to go find another player, and I was like, I'm not taking him.
I mean, they are definitely a different team with Brissett, and he played brilliant last week. So, and their defense again stepped up last week playing Jacksonville. But I as much as I want to pick Indy, as much as I picked Indy to win this division, I think it might be time for Houston to be due. I think Watson goes off this game. I'm reluctantly going to pick Houston.
This is a tough game to kind of really predict here. After
this whole division,
especially after performances last week. I mean, I hate to go back and look at that because it is a whole new week and it's a divisional week. And obviously, I mean, the Colts played an divisional game last week against Jacksonville. They put up 33. Which is a great sign for them. Whereas
Mac had a big game. Now Williams stepped up when he came in. So that's why it's really tough for me to do this. But can they do that 2 weeks in a row?
But Indy's got a good O-line.
Yeah,
Indy does have a really good O-line.
He did the keg stand last week.
That was awesome. That was one of the coolest celebrations.
He didn't score, but he thought he did, so he did the keg stand.
That was a cool celebration. Yeah, no, and that would have been even better if he had scored. But they're very good. Offensive team. I just think Houston's going to have just a little bit too much tonight. And I think it's going to be a really good game. And it's a good place for Vinatieri to kick, so that scares me a little bit because it's in a dome and he loves domes. He loves to kick in dome. He's been awful outside, though. Awful outside. It's actually pretty crazy if you look at his stats.
Panero bad.
Yeah. Oh, who?
I love Paneros. They got good food.
That's what I thought he said. I was like, Panera. What?
I am going to go with Houston as well tonight. I think they're going to just have a little bit more. I think they're going to come pretty heavy off that last week, performance of 7 points. So hopefully they change things. So
yeah, what's up with Deshaun Watson? I mean.
Yeah, that was kind of the first chink in the armor, though, Melanie. It's not like we've seen a lot of bad from him. It's not like he's always been he's either been good or mediocre. It's never been real bad.
But Baltimore's defense has stepped up this year. I mean, they're not Baltimore defense of 2000, but they're starting to become a solid defense.
Incredible to think, John. Awesome point. Incredible to think. Well, Baltimore. We're talking about Baltimore. I don't want to talk about Baltimore too much, but how many players they lost to? Baltimore losing. So that defense was depleted. Everybody thought, oh shit, they're going to be really bad, and then they 7 points against one of the top 5 producing. I would have to imagine top 5 producing offensive teams in the league.
Yeah, they've got 3 top-notch wide receivers. So to shut them down like that.
Yeah, we'll give them a bell.
Houston's offensive line is not very good. So that I give the hand over to Indy with that. The offensive line on Indy is much better. So, like, the run game, I think, won't be such a big issue.
How's the Colts' defensive line?
The Colts' defensive line is pretty good.
Yeah. I'm going home team. I mean, I think they have the same record. Colts have not lost a divisional game yet.
Colts beat them last time, and Colts have beat them the past, like, fucking 6 times in a row. So I'm just like, it's got to be due.
They're due. They're not that different, like, talent-wise. I mean, and especially with the running back out and one of the backups hurt too. I can't remember his name. I feel like it's
just
Reedy or something.
Enormous game enormous game
This has
for standing for the standings and like you said, John, playoff implication. Yeah. Enormous. Tune in tonight. This is going to be a good one. This is going to be as close as you can get to a playoff game as you in week 12.
I'm going Houston.
You're going Houston. 3 Houstons. I'm going to go Indy. My heart wants to go Houston.
I don't blame you. Dude,
I got to make up some games.
After you went Houston last week, I'm like,
yeah, Houston kind of.
What are you thinking?
Well, I'm thinking that the offensive
shame him, Melanie. Shame him. Shame him. Shame him.
Offensive line, defensive line. I feel like Brissett is going to have like a big game here. T.Y. Hilton's going to eat him up.
I can't argue with you, man.
I don't think the run game's going to falter that much. I know Mac is pretty good, but I think they got with that awesome front line.
They put anybody they put back there will be
right.
fine.
He's going to chew him up. And the Texans, they got to do something with that O-line because, Watson's running crazy. And, so anytime they disrupt those routes. And if I have to go with coaching, I'm going Frank Reich. I like Frank Reich as a coach. I think he game plans better. I think this team responds to him better than which is Callahan or whatever his name is over there.
O'Brien.
Yeah.
Good Irish boy. Just pick Irish name and insert, I guess, chicken or what? Jesus.
Throw an Irish name out there.
Yeah.
So I'm
O'Flaherty.
I'm going with the
Colts. Little news, the Texans, both Fuller and Colts wide receiver T.Y. Hilton are both officially active for tonight's game. So they'll both play. Huge game. Got to play.
Because he's been on my bench.
Yeah, huge game. They both got to play. So no much more.
All right, let's move on.
Be a good one.
Let's move on to the next game, the Browns versus the Dolphins.
Browns favored by 10.5
in Cleveland. Can you imagine? This is probably the first time in 10 years the Browns have been favored by
double
10.5
digits,
points.
right?
Dolphins have been playing a little better of late.
They have.
It was close for a little bit when they played.
Four picks last week for Fitz.
And they had 2-game win streak before that.
Right.
They put 20 points up on the Bills last week.
I'm going. I'll take
It's
this.
good on that defense, though.
I'm gonna go with the Browns, but wouldn't go anywhere near the points. I wouldn't be anywhere. I wouldn't be even marginally shocked if we were talking about a Miami win next week.
You know what gets me?
Really?
If the Browns, if all that fight
have been playing a lot better.
If all that fight didn't happen, I'm saying Browns all the way because I think they carry that energy from beating the Steelers. They're on a momentum.
Yeah.
And now it's just like the energy kind of gets sucked right out of them without you now losing your best player. And now all these fines and suspensions.
Distractions galore this week in the locker room.
No. Not a lot of focus on that game.
This really could be a trap game, but I'm still going Cleveland.
I'm still going to Cleveland as well because I think they're starting to figure out that they have Chubb and Kareem Hunt in that backfield.
The running game.
They're figuring out how to utilize
peaked
them.
last week,
and then you got those guys on the ends with Landry and OBJ. I feel like they're starting to come into their own.
I wish you would come into my own.
A lot of distractions.
I was going to go for the ends comment, but thanks. So
I'm going to go Cleveland. Now,
I'm not picking Miami, so I'm going Cleveland.
do want to give the Dolphins a lot of credit this week in a quiet story. They released Mark Walton, who was their starting running back. Mark Walton received his not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5th arrest in the last calendar year. This one is now for laying his hands on his girlfriend, his pregnant girlfriend.
Oh yeah,
and you know what? In Dolphins fashion, he was arrested. They swiftly released him, and I give them a lot of credit for it. I give teams a lot of credit who are you know what? Yes, I know we've always said, hey, let due process handle things, but in the distraction level, I like teams that are getting to the point of seeing distractions are happening. We don't want that. And good for in Miami. You probably could have let that guy slip through the radar and kept him around if he was a player. You know what? I hate to say that, but good for them. They fucking got rid of him. Well done by the Dolphins.
Next man up.
Yes,
there
exactly.
are plenty of athletes out there who respect the job they're being offered.
And
correct,
Myles Garrett.
That's a great way to put it, Phil.
But the next game, so we're all going Cleveland, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Bills versus Broncos. This is
actually
so tough.
This is a really good game. Like I can see
both.
I can see Denver taking a win here. They got good defenses. Not very a lot of
their offense has really surprised me the past few weeks, man. Wow.
Who you talking
Denver's.
About? Denver's, yeah. Their run game is strong.
Yeah.
They got 2 good running backs.
I'm going with Bills. I don't know because Denver always finds a way to lose. And
so do the Bills.
But Bills have been playing better. They
The problem is, and you can look no further than right here for the Broncos, is 172 points for and 197 points against. That margin is tight.
That is
okay. And you imagine if that offense at 172, it puts them in probably the bottom 10 of the league. Okay, and if that 172 points for is dog shit, that's crap. To give you to give a little bit.
The Bears are at 150.
To give some perspective,
I mean, this is pretty fascinating.
The Bengals are at 147. The Bears are at 169.
69.
So it shows you what production can do on the offensive side of the ball and not lead to on the defensive side of the ball. And obviously, we knew Vic was going to have a good defense, gentlemen. And we knew he was going to have that was going to be a shining star on that team. But how many games have been lost by small margins?
You know what kills me is they have made it past the learning curve that I knew that defense would need a lot quicker than I expected.
Mm-hmm.
They really impressed me last week, except in the second half when they let Minnesota just come right back on them.
Yeah,
I mean you're up 20-3, and you just fucking and actually was it 23-3 at one point, and just let up that many points.
But man, is this a scary game?
I'm going Buffalo. I believe in that crowd to take control of this game.
It's at home.
Yep,
it's a big plus.
Go Bills fans.
Go Bills Mafia.
You have to go Bills, right? Don't you?
I mean,
yeah.
You're gonna be sleeping outdoors if you don't, right?
I'm gonna go Buffalo. I'm gonna go Buffalo too, but. Brandon Allen. We'll see. Well, I think this will be a really good test for him. A really, really good defense to face. So we'll see how he does. Cortland Sutton had an awesome week last week. Look out for him. If we don't get to do a little bit of fantasy, Cortland Sutton. Look out for him this week. He's going to be cheaper in a lot of your leagues. He's the number one there. Brandon Allen's favorite target. So keep an eye out for that. I'm going to go Bills, but I could. This could be 2017.
If this game was in Denver, I might be picking it the other way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Word up.
Moving on to the Bengals versus Steelers.
Steelers.
Yeah.
I mean, they haven't won a game. You can't pick them.
No.
You just
no.
Can't.
There's a guy living on the top of a restaurant in Cincinnati since the season started. He will not come off the top of the restaurant until Cincinnati gets their first win.
I don't think
he might be there for a year.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's tough.
I'm going with the Steelers in this game.
Yep. And for all the obvious reasons.
Oh man.
Next game is Bears.
I'll let you guys go first here.
Bears versus the Giants.
I love Robinson this week against Baker being a cornerback. I love it. I think Robinson. I'm going to take Caleb's thunder here for a fantasy moment. Pick Robinson as a wide receiver this week. All right. I feel.
Who's throwing to him?
I'm pretty sure. Well, right now Trubisky, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't matter because actually Robinson does better when Chase Daniel's back there. So. I'm okay with picking the Bears easily this week. Saquon Barkley will get his chunks. I'm not going to argue that a bit.
Do you remember last year when we actually had a decent team?
Yeah.
And the Giants came in and they stole one from us.
Right.
Giants are terrible.
Saquon Barkley, he's a guy that at any point in time can just cut loose.
Daniel Jones has got his as good as he was in the beginning of the year. Teams have figured out his flaws. I'm not worried about it. And you know me, I will pick against the Bears in a heartbeat as long as it knocks me up a notch over you. But I'm picking the Bears this week.
Oof.
I'll pick the Bears. I mean, I don't see anything out of the Giants that gives me any kind of hope that they could go into Chicago and beat them. I mean, yeah, they have Saquon Barkley, but that's not enough.
It's not like Chicago's a terrible place to
Dallas. They almost beat Dallas.
A divisional game.
Yeah.
I don't even look into those.
Good point.
This is at home. I mean, they've won 2 games, and Chicago should have won more than the 4 that they've won.
They definitely should have.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
I'm going to have to go with the Bears, but man, I'm not.
Feel forced?
I'm not 100%.
They need a back rub, bro?
The Giants were a worse team last year, and we were a better team, and they came in and they took one from us.
Well,
we went there. We went there last year.
But they still took one from us.
Well,
it stole.
Yeah, they
that was a robbery.
And it always seems like the Bears
back.
do really bad against the Giants. Mm-hmm. It just all the time they square up. It seems like I don't know what their record is, but it seems like the Giants always get the best of the Bears. Fuck it, I'm going Giants.
I am.
Yep, I'm going Giants.
Yes, Bears win this weekend. All right.
Again, like you said, either way.
Either way, you win. That's right. Either way, you're going to come back and say,
I can't believe
I told you.
I can't believe that. I can't. That's That's Bush League. I'm going to go Bears. I think the Giants are getting to the point in their season. I mean, like you said 2-8. We're going to start seeing the Giants making calls on players that are hurt to be very conservative of playing them.
Yep.
So I feel like the crop of talent for Daniel Jones is going to go down a little bit. I know it's kind of shitty to hear, but it's going to be in Evan Ingram, who's dealt with injuries all season, Saquon Barkley, if there's tightness, if there's a little sign of, hey, we don't want him, we don't want to put him out there, it's going to start. So,
right.
I don't know if it's going to start this week.
Sterling Shepard should be back this week for the Giants. Give Chicken a little good news. So he practiced in full today. So you got he's got a weapon.
A weapon. Well, two.
And the Bears gave up more yards to tight ends than pretty much any team in the league.
I'm pretty sure me and you both would give up more yards to a tight end.
Everett Ingram's pretty good, so that could be our Achilles heel right there. So, okay, I'm going to be the lone guy going against the Giants, but like you said, if I lose, I still win.
Right, yeah.
I hate that you two look at it like that.
Hey, I picked the Rams last week.
Because you want to know how fucking easy it is? Introduce the next game. Go ahead.
Oakland Raiders.
Versus? Versus who?
The Jets.
Yeah, give me the fucking Jets all day fucking long.
Oh my God.
Team's been putting up, that team has been putting up so many fucking points. It's not even funny over the last 2 weeks. They look fucking great. And, let's fucking
Mr. Simpson.
Not a very big line.
Let's do it, New York Jets. Spoil the Oakland Raiders playoff hope. This is as big as a game as the Jets could play this year because the Raiders are still in it. And a huge fucking loss to the Raiders would be great. A couple of my buddies are Raiders fans. I want to fucking stick right up their fucking ass. I hope they're at the game this weekend. They were talking about going to the game. So give me the fucking Jets. And to be honest with you, I don't think it's going to be that fucking close.
Oh my God, he's even going out there. Oh my God!
Wow, make me one of those.
Somebody's getting an Uber home.
Fuckers.
It's a very blue drink you got over there.
It looks pretty. Mel, who are you taking?
He thinks that they put up 34 points on the Redskins. So
I know, right? My grandmother puts up 40 points on the Redskins.
How's this beer on your lap?
I'm going with.
Choose carefully. You're sitting next to me.
I know. I don't like either one of the.
I've got a Sharpie.
I don't like this one.
I've got a Sharpie.
I think the Raiders are better than they. I'm going with the Raiders.
Yep.
Yep. I like Chucky. Going for it.
Yeah,
better coaching.
They played what the Dolphins 2 weeks ago, and then Redskins. I'm not buying into it yet. I think the running game.
Oh, I wouldn't either. I haven't bought in yet either.
I think that the running game of the Raiders and the defense is good enough for me. I'm going Oakland and just again the question marks in the Jets secondary. So.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Raiders, too. I feel like the Raiders' offensive line and their defensive line are their strengths. They're just big.
You're 3-point favorites going into somebody else's house.
I feel like in better coaching, I feel like the Raiders, they have something going. They're not quite there yet, but we didn't think the Raiders were going to we thought they were going to be cellar dwellers this year.
Right.
And
this is year 2 for them, so they're building up.
And I feel Oakland's starting to get a little bit of bravado. I feel like they're they're trying to come into their own. I think this game, I feel like they're just going to, you're right, Caleb, it's not even going to be close. It's not even going to be close.
Cool story for the Jets, too, that I just want to touch on here is the Jets quarterback's name's Brashear Austin. They just activated him because he's coming off what was in college, a pretty catastrophic injury. It was one of those kind of leg injuries that you see. And before that, he was so highly touted. He was supposed to be like a first-round pick. Everybody really, really loved this guy. And finally, after like about a year and a half of recovery and rehab, he didn't play his last year of college. And then the Jets ended up taking him in the 6th round of the draft, taking an injured player in the 6th round of the draft, a very injured player. And he's made his debut, and he's been awesome. And they're actually, one of the guys, Nate Harrison, who started the season as one of the Jets' starting cornerbacks, they actually are probably going to be who will probably be inactive this week, and this kid will be playing because he's been so good. So that's where this time of year is a good time. What I was talking about, a la the Giants and stuff like that. But this kid did come highly touted, so it's cool stories like that. I at least Adam Gase does something right.
It's kind of like Chicken's Wiener. It's a feel good story.
Yeah,
I feel good with it.
That was brought to you by.
Oh my God.
So when Jets, everybody else is going to Oakland. Saints versus Carolina Panthers. I feel like the Saints. Gotta go with Saints.
Carolina's on a downturn.
Are we coming off the bye here in New Orleans?
The falconing that happened to the Saints 2 weeks ago
Tampa
was
Bay.
Still rough. Actually, their defense has not been looking as good. Even last week.
Who are you talking about?
For the Saints,
okay.
Yeah. So they've got to right their ship. But I think they can do enough, especially their run game.
They're at home
against Carolina.
Although,
the Dome is a tough place to play. So yeah,
I'm very interested to see, and I'm going to go Saints too. I think we all are. But interesting with Carolina, kind of Allen got off that really really hot start, and everything was all hunky dory. I will tell you one thing to watch is that Allen's backup is Will Grier, Will Grier was very highly touted out of college, went to a couple different big Division I schools, ended up at West Virginia, was pretty high on, from what I understand, the Patriots board, that they were thinking about taking him at the end of the first round. So he is the backup to Allen there in Carolina, and he's only had just a little bit more time to progress, especially when Cam's injury happened. It was very early in the season. If Allen keeps faltering, he's 5-3 right now. He won 5 straight, and then now he's lost 3 straight, and he's been very bad in the 3 straight. And as one of your guys' favorite lines, and I guess our kind of the anthem to our show, once you get the tape, what happens?
Well, well, here's my question:
do we maybe see where maybe not this game, but does Will Grier get that shot?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't. Barring injury,
Okay.
no. Barring injury, I don't think why make that change at this point in the season.
See what you got with Grier.
If he has another 4 interception game, it's 8 interceptions.
Well, and that's what I'm saying, John.
Well, here's the more important
That's what I'm saying. Is the performance going to lead us up?
You got a one-trick pony. I mean, with Christian McCaffrey. I mean, who else besides them has been like well, you got Olsen. But
DJ Moore's been pretty good.
DJ Moore's been pretty good.
But I mean, they don't scare you now when you talk about like Michael Thomas or
they don't make
Kamara or even like Latavius Murray. And
sure, yeah.
And then Drew Brees coming in and just I just feel like they have way too much weapons.
Oh, absolutely. New Orleans is going to wipe them with this game
for either quarterback. So that's why I wouldn't even bring in that other guy.
I guess I was also going with the Grier thing is to say that there is a highly touted guy there. There's a guy that it might be it would be an ultimate not fall from graces, but it would be very interesting to see is this change something that could be on the horizon for Carolina. So.
I mean, New Orleans Saints were my early year pick to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I don't
still not 100%. I mean, especially to me right now, if I had to pick a team right now in the NFC,
San Francisco,
Seattle
to
me is that team with a whole lot of steam going.
So I'm so mad at my Rams pick.
So with the Saints, though, they were able to do it with a backup with Teddy Bridgewater. Their backups beat the crap out of the Bears. They beat the crap out of a lot of teams, and when Kamara was out and stuff, and they're just getting back to where they're getting all their weapons back. And a divisional game like this, I feel like the Saints are just going to roll them to this week.
They are.
And here are the 2 teams that I consider Falconers.
Yeah, they do finally.
Winston was up to his old tricks last week. 4 picks. He barely. I think he targeted Mike Evans like twice the whole fucking game. Tampa Bay is on a wicked downslide.
I seen a meme where it was Winston, and it says, "I'm just going to tell my kid this is Jamarcus Russell."
Oh my God, it's so bad.
It's so bad. And
That's bad.
And I made a comparison between him and Cam Newton many times, and I'm sticking with it because I feel like both these guys have something wrong in between their ears. Physically, I feel like they're dominating quarterbacks, and they tons of skill, tons of talent, but just something's not clicking right in their brains. Like if they're not reading coverages correctly, they're not. I don't know.
I just need somebody to refresh my memory. Did I say earlier in the year? I think Zach was here. Did I say I would never pick Atlanta again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did I say that?
And now it's like, who do you pick on this game? Like they both.
Shut up. You don't know. I'm asking these guys.
I mean, I've said it, but I'm gonna.
I have to pick
Yeah.
Atlanta just because we're all gonna get fucking Falconed this week.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay is gonna win this game.
They roll. Tampa Bay rolls, but I'm going with Atlanta.
I hate both these teams. Every time I pick one, the other one,
Right.
Yeah. So I'm going Atlanta because it looks like they've righted the defensive ship and they figured out their fucking offense.
On paper.
It's that idea that maybe the head coach shouldn't be calling plays. Oh,
Yes, Caleb, you were right.
So are you going Falcons as well?
Yes.
So
No.
we're all getting falconed.
I'm going Tampa.
Are you?
Are you really? Oh, you're
I'm going to go Tampa.
Way to be a contrary.
I hate the Falcons.
I know.
I can't stand them. Every time I pick
he's
the
gonna
Falcons,
steal one from
all the way
me.
back from the Dirty Birds. Like, they
Come on.
chip my ass every freaking time.
He's gonna steal this one. I got a feeling.
Um,
I kick myself in the balls.
I'll do it.
Next game. The next game is pretty painful, and let me just say, it's Redskins versus the Lions, but if you are tired and living in pain, and your medication doesn't seem to be working and leaves you in a fog, try a natural, safer alternative with CBD from Utica Hemp. With everything from oil, full spectrum, and THC free, topical CBD flower, and dog treats, Utica Hemp is something for everyone. Visit uticahempco.com or stop in one of their 4 locations in Utica, Herkimer, New Hartford, or Clinton and speak to their knowledgeable staff. Now, how about CBD can help you? I can't get all tripped up there. Utica Hemp, improve the quality of your life. So that was painful for me to read.
Yeah.
You need some CBD.
I actually need to get more. I do got to get it. This game, I have to go with the Detroit Lions.
Is Matt Stafford still out?
Yes, he's out.
Is he out?
Most likely the rest of the year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Broken back, basically?
They work weird that way.
Matt Stafford's career is over.
That's a shame.
What?
I think he's gonna retire.
You do?
Yeah, I really think he's gonna retire.
Is he still the highest paid quarterback in the league?
He is.
His wife, something's up with his wife.
His wife has really bad health problems.
Didn't Garoppolo pass him on that list anyway?
Of what?
No.
The highest paid. I believe Garoppolo.
Yeah, I think he might have. I think Jimmy has.
And
Jimmy
if
Garoppolo's
not,
highest.
Zeke will pass him next year anyways.
I think Matt Stafford's made enough money. I think this is kind of the end of the era there in Detroit. Unfortunately, I feel bad that he would have to go out this way, but I think it's going to be very tough for him to. Like you said, he's got a lot of back problems.
Right.
Yeah.
And I can only imagine what that pain is. Not his pain that he's going through is also translated with his wife who has cancer is going through. And that's just got to be a lot on their family. So I think I feel so bad for Matt Stafford. I mean, this is one of the good guys in the game. He's never been an asshole, really. I mean, even I know you guys hate him because he's in your division, but
I don't hate him.
I hate him.
I hate
But
him
this is-
because he
this
came
is-
from Georgia. I had him my college rival, my divisional rival. Can I get away from him?
this is probably the sad end of Matt Stafford's career, and that's why I hate to say it, Matt. I'm so sorry. I'm going to go with the Washington.
Oh my
Redskins
God!
this weekend.
What? That's insane.
I want to see Dwayne Haskins get his first win under center.
Detroit played Cowboys really tough last week.
This
I have
Driscoll
no problem
kid
picking
is
Jeff
legit.
Driscoll's been a
He's
good
solid.
quarterback.
He's really good.
Yeah.
He's got some wheels. Like I told you, this kid's got a
Good pocket presence.
Yep.
He can protect the ball.
Cincinnati pops out backup quarterbacks that you think are going to be great, and they aren't. AJ McCarron, Jeff Driscoll. The list will probably keep on coming with Ryan Finley. Will be a good backup quarterback one day. But Driscoll is good. I like Driscoll.
Play? I mean,
I watched him play in Cincinnati. I was surprised he wasn't in Cincinnati. I figured when they benched that fucking idiot
on this Lions team, he's been playing balls out.
Yeah,
They got him in the right offense. They really do.
Yeah. So I'm. But that being said, I want Dwayne Haskins to get his first win. I'm going Redskins here. Let's go.
Ooh.
It's nice that we're not all picking the same teams. I mean,
really is. I mean, I'm glad I can get a game
It's
up.
fucking real warm and cozy.
It really
Sobra.
makes it easier because next week I'm hoping to hit the 700% next week.
Yeah, are you, John? That's great. Thanks.
So Mel, are you gonna Are you gonna go NFC North?
Yeah, I'm going Lions.
Yeah, I think you
I
have
can't
to.
believe I'm picking
I
them.
don't think you have to.
I mean,
The Jets beat the Redskins. I mean, come on.
It's going to be such a
Everybody
shit.
beats the
Every game that's played in Washington in Washington D.C. in the NFL is always the fucking cloudiest, shittiest, rainiest, snowiest day.
Not even Jets beat the Redskins. Miami beat the Redskins.
Oh, it's true.
Miami beat the Redskins. Did you know Miami
Wait a
beat the
minute. Did
Redskins?
the Jets beat the whole NFC East? Did the Jets beat the NFC East so far?
No, they lost to the Eagles. Remember, I was fucking there.
That's right. So that's the only team in the NFC East that the Jets haven't beaten, right?
Yeah, eat my ass.
Wow. No, I'm not even picking on the Jets. I'm picking on the East.
Right.
Like, seriously.
Well, I'm going Washington.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
No.
Yeah, you're all alone.
Virgins. Speaking of the NFC East, Seattle goes in as a 1.5 point underdog to Philadelphia.
The game opened at -3 for the Eagles. This is
Give me
weird.
a fucking break, really?
So weird.
Well, the Eagles probably win. The Eagles need this win bad.
It's a trap game for the Seahawks, I got a feeling. But I'm still picking Seattle. They're a force to be reckoned with. That defense is stellar. Russell Wilson
cannot be stopped.
No.
He's ridiculous.
Game back me. You know.
And now you got Josh Gordon there.
Yeah.
That's a huge pickup to go with the weapons they already have in Metcalf. And
Is Tyler Lockett playing?
that's what I was wondering.
The Lockett himself.
I got a job to do.
I mean, the Eagles,
Whatever happened to Doug Baldwin?
Retired.
Did he retire? Oh.
Yeah.
He's questionable. Limited practice on Wednesday. Nothing today.
I wasn't impressed. Like, you guys know I really badly want to pick the Eagles here. I was not impressed with them last week. I thought they were,
I wasn't impressed either.
They could have won that game.
Yeah, they did not.
Easily over the Patriots. They didn't. They were just bad. I also see this could be a game where Seattle just comes in and just pumps. So I'm going to go Seattle. I don't usually pick them, but I'm going to go with Seattle.
What's the injury situation for the Eagles?
Everybody's questionable.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Let's see. Jordan Howard, Alshon Jeffrey, Agator, Jason Peters.
Agator.
When did he join the NFL?
Aguilar.
What's he from, He-Man?
Hey, I was going to say he's one of the fucking masters of the universe there.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my God. They're all questionable. Let's see. Howard, limited capacity on today. Jeffrey, limited today. Aguilar, non-participant in practice. So that ain't good.
That's not good.
And let's see. Lane Johnson, offensive tackle. He was in concussion protocol as of Monday. No update since then. So, yeah, no, I'm going Seattle. I believe they're the new front runners of the NFC.
I agree.
It's
tough to go against the Seattle Seahawks right now. And seeing that game that we've seen against San Fran.
Yeah. That was such a good game.
Such a great game.
I mean, I wanted both of them to lose. I was like, let it be a tie.
I said the same thing. For once, I'm rooting for a tie because both these teams, neither one deserved to lose.
That just showed me they wanted it more. And if they continue that attitude, they're going to be unstoppable.
I mean, that's kind of their attitude all the time.
I got a lot of respect from the San Francisco 49ers after that game. They could have laid down and died. And I got a lot more respect for the Seahawks, too, because they looked like they were dead a couple times in that game and fought back.
Yeah.
I like both those teams. I'm going Seahawks all the way. I just feel like the Eagles still can win that division and take it away, but they need to get those guys back. They need to get those guys healthy.
They could win that division. That's wild.
Yep. Moving along, we're going to do Tennessee Titans versus Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh, here's a game you won't turn on at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, no.
That's a terrible game.
What are you talking about? Tannehill's a fucking fireball of QB fury right now.
Do you know, it's the worst part is too. We were talking about this is such a huge weekend for these two. For the AFC South and the NFC South just all fucking off. They're playing each other too, and they're just all fucking off. And Jacksonville with a win here. Jacksonville with a win puts themselves back in at least a conversation. They'd still be 2 games out because the top 2 teams are playing. But that's kind of crazy.
You put the Titans and Jacksonville in the East, in the NFC East, they're number 1. Mm-hmm. They rule that whole division. That just says how good.
That's a little hasty, but
I disagree. The Jets ran through that division.
The Jets got a lucky win against a Dallas team.
But I'm saying Jacksonville and Tennessee
I checked. New York Jets dominated that game up until right in the end when they let Dallas waltz down the field.
Well, nobody fucking asked you, John. That's good.
But with these two teams, you got
that wasn't Bellworthy.
You got Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry, who's a beast, and then Leonard Fournette,
ding,
who I feel are very similar to running backs to each other, and they're gonna. I feel like the defenses on these teams are pretty good, but it's going to be up to those two guys. It's not up to the quarterbacks in this game. This is up to the running game. And I feel like
I think Tannehill's doing enough to win, and I love Derrick Henry, so that's where I'm going. And
Fournette's a beast too. And
I know.
And Nick Foles is back, right? So
yep, he looked poo-poo last week.
It didn't help much last week.
Right. Yeah, I got to go Tennessee, and I think that's more on the coaching too. Again, I like Vrabel. Vrabel's a good, tough-nosed.
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
The only 10 I see.
Thank you, John.
Right.
Chicken.
So we're gonna go. So we're all Tennessee then on that one. Patriots versus the Cowboys.
This is where we hope the stadium just goes.
Right.
The Cowboys are finally going to play an away game this year. only took till week 12.
You know, funny. This will be the one that they win.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm not picking them.
No, is anybody picking the Cowboys in this game?
I'm not picking the Cowboys, but gentlemen, I'm very nervous about the problems the Patriots have had on offense the last few weeks, and usually these things get worked out very quickly.
Cowboys could win this game because of that problem. Now,
Yeah.
I am a little worried about this game, but
Cowboys offense is great.
I wouldn't say great. I would say great. I say when Zeke is moving and he's running the ball well, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
he fumbled last week. But I no, dude. See, that's the thing. Dak is really having a good year.
Dak's having a great year.
It's in the MVP talk.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
when you got to go against Belichick and that defense,
I know. That's where it's tough.
And Belichick will figure out how to beat you. He'll play with you during the whole first half and think you got a chance, and in the second half, it just he changes the game, and everyone's thinking, oh, we got this game plan, we're going to stick to our game plan, and then he flips the script, and it's a whole different ball game.
That's
in-game adjustments.
That's what scares me a little bit. Is exactly the point Chicken just made. Is it's almost that, has this gone on long enough for the Patriots? Like for Bill, like to be like, well, this has been kind of 3 weeks where we've had a pretty stagnant offense. Like Bill doesn't let things go on that long. That's what scares me. That's why I am going to pick New England, but I'm very, very nervous that if a Dallas offense that comes in that put up big points earlier in the year, kind of fizzled a little bit.
Who did they put up big points against?
At NFC East.
Yeah.
Right, and Detroit Lions and things like that. Now when you go against, if you got to go Belichick versus Jason Garrett, I mean, Jason Garrett he should have been fired 5 years ago.
Bill Belichick's the greatest coach of all time.
Exactly, and that's why I can't.
But they do lose.
That's the thing. They let the Lions score 27 on them. So just with that, and another road game, across the country. This is West going East.
I think the Cowboys are going to get humbled in this game,
and it's cold. Oh, it's cold. Yeah,
cold in New England. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm going New England. Melanie, New England.
Yeah.
Chicken.
Yeah, New England.
Okay. The Green Bay Packers.
Packers versus the 49ers in the 49ers.
Homer's going.
Yeah.
Go back to like the Steve Young, Brett Favre kind of era.
I love those.
That was some good games back then.
Brett Favre didn't ever win them, but I loved them.
I know. I was always rooting for Favre in those games, believe it or not.
You guys already picked the Niners, so.
Well, we did as a collective whole. I mean, there might be some.
We have obligation.
As you notice in Game 1, me and the vote went 2-1 with us picking Houston over the Colts. So.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a great game. It's going to be a great game.
Yeah,
And the Niners are obviously beatable, but it took to the end of overtime to do it. And it always depends on which Packers team shows up. If Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams get going, Aaron Rodgers can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, I'm not as much as the wins the Packers have. I'm still not sold yet. I'm not
either.
Sold
actually.
yet.
They don't have a lot of complete games where defense will bail them out or offense bails out the defense.
I'm gonna say one name, Bosa.
Yeah, that guy's
Bosa, and they lost to the other Bosa earlier a couple weeks ago.
Aaron Rodgers.
They came out so flat in that game.
They did.
As
ridiculous.
Old as Aaron Rodgers is, he's still got wheels.
Am I weird? Am I weird enough to say that the Packers almost remind me a little of the Bills? Like I just can't get a read. Because at the beginning of the year I was so nervous. I was so nervous on what they were going to be. Mm-hmm. All right, I was so nervous with new head coach, kind of the controversy that surrounded Rodgers at the beginning of the year. The end of last year, that whole grind. I'm almost waiting for this kind of this cast of characters to just fizzle out and just be bad.
Meltdown.
That's why John, I think you and I hold that same thought in the back of our mind about this team.
A whole new coach.
Like it's like I don't think they will because I'm not saying they are the Bills because obviously it's Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
Okay, Aaron Rodgers.
Devontae
Aaron Rodgers.
Kind of like when you say with Seattle, like no matter what they are on paper, they got
Russell Wilson.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like I don't know, but at the same time
Their run defense isn't very good.
Yeah, but
their defense was great at the beginning of the year, and they've bailed them out. But they've given up the most like 40-yard plays or whatever in the.
All right, sweet. So I'm going
League.
San Fran. Okay.
Which makes me nervous, obviously.
I'm going San Fran too because just the way they've been playing lately, they got a strong running
It's at
game.
home. I mean, it's tough. I'm picking the Packers because I'm a Packer fan, but
I like to see Garoppolo and Aaron Rodgers kind of like
make out.
No, that's all you, dude.
I was just guessing. Thought we were playing Mad Libs.
I remember years ago when I was watching Green Bay Packers versus the Arizona Cardinals in the playoffs. And Aaron Rodgers was that still underdeveloped. Nobody really knew anything, and then he had a coming out party in that playoff.
yeah, they
game.
scored like 45 points and still lost in overtime.
Yeah, it was an amazing game. Great game. He went up against Kurt Warner and in that high-flying Cardinals offense. And I feel like Garoppolo's in that position to kind of take the reins from the Aaron Rodgers era because I feel like Aaron Rodgers is starting to peter out a little bit.
Garoppolo's still scaring me with the forced passes. This is not.
Someone get the AED out. Did Chicken just give Jimmy Garoppolo crap?
In through nose, out through mouth.
Can't tell me it's
What?
sex or what. What's
Right.
going on there?
What?
Sorry, when Harry met Seth.
You
Want some of that blue drink.
You have taken every fucking chance to shit on Jimmy Garoppolo for the last 2.5 years.
I just said he was underperformed. Not underperformed, but he had nothing to base his career off of to get paid that highly.
I agree.
You know what I mean? They paid him higher than Matthew Stafford. At least Matthew Stafford had a good career, but this guy had 7 games to his credit. He had 7 games to his credit.
Let me die.
You should see this on the.
Just let me die. Oh my God!
When he was breathing heavy.
Chicken shit all over Jimmy Garoppolo for the last 2 years. This is the night I've been waiting for.
He's still
the next biggest moment of my life will come when Tyrod Taylor finally retires.
After a Super Bowl win?
Yeah, after
MVP.
Yes, after his Super Bowl win
with the Jets.
Cheers.
I would love him for him to go to the Jets and have success. So you have to root for him.
Sam Darnold goes down, Tyrod comes in, and just fucking rallies off 12 wins in a row.
That would be amazing.
And Jimmy Garoppolo's a Hall of fucking Famer, and I agree, Chicken. I'm going with the 49ers, by the way.
Oh my God, all that shit for nothing. Fucking no climax, nothing.
Your
all of
favorite.
you lose.
Yeah.
All right, so so you went Green Bay, right?
No, I went San Francisco.
Damn.
No.
Okay, so we got the Rams versus the Ravens.
Ravens.
Yeah, I'm going Ravens. The Rams last week didn't really show me much. They didn't really impress me.
No, they almost lost to the Bears.
Yeah. And that offense of the Bears.
Right, yeah.
And the Baltimore Ravens, I think, are just going to run all over them.
Steamroll.
And if I were the Ravens, I would just hit them with mega doses of
Lamar Jackson.
well, I was going to say Mark Ingram.
Right.
Yeah.
Because, I feel like they can dominate this game with Mark Ingram and kind of throw teams off. I feel like this team needs to showcase more people than just Lamar Jackson if they're going to go make a good playoff run.
Well, they got the leading tight ends in the league as far as receiving goes.
He loves Mark Andrews.
They do need to utilize their wide receivers more. That I agree with. But they started off the game with a wide receiver touchdown, so maybe they're starting to get to that point.
But I want to see Mark Ingram. Mark Ingram's a beast. This guy he's tough. He's hard to take down, and he's fast, and he can catch.
They can catch.
And earlier you said he was good looking. So
I did.
I have him on my fantasy team, so I'm all for it.
I don't know, but you see this team starting to rally behind Lamar Jackson, and they're really playing for him. It's not like he's a quarterback. These guys, it seems like he's downplaying himself, and these guys are trying to rally him. You see, Mark Ingram kind of giving the little intro speech, and it's not Lamar Jackson doing it. It's like they're trying to make him the star. And I feel like that's a kind of a cool feeling with your team. Like they're rallying behind this guy. And that's a team that you got to be scared about. And Harbaugh's got this team playing really well.
Todd Gurley needs to be majorly involved in this game for the Rams to even sniff a chance.
Yep.
They really need to carry out what they did last week against the Bears. Ride Gurley, keep that Ravens offense off the field. Give your defense breaks. I mean, you got Aaron Donald. He showed sparks. He's actually doing a little bit better this year than he was last year, I feel at least. But that offense is just sputtering. They need Gurley. They need him.
I agree.
I mean, he's amazing.
And they're down a couple wide receivers. Am I correct? Like Cooper Kupp, was he hurt?
He was hurt last week.
I believe one of them's coming back this week.
And Cooks too, right?
Brandon Cooks, questionable concussion, is on pace to return Monday against the Ravens. So
What about Cooper Kupp?
He is not on the injury report.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, there you go.
I'm going with the Rams.
Wow.
Yeah.
That whole spiel, he just bought it. I did it to stretch out the show, but he just bought it.
No, I'm going to go. The Rams have to get it together at some point. I think this could be a big signature win for them if they can get it done. I just have a feeling that McVay gives off that kind of mad scientist idea, kind of almost like a Belichick. I think this bleeding's gone on long enough. I think something's got to give. So we'll see. So I'm going to go Rams just to.
But speaking about mad scientists, like look at Harbaugh, like designing some of these plays that are coming up. Like
I thought he was out too last year, man. I remember you guys. I sat here for 5 straight shows just banging that drum that he was going to be gone, and he's done a great job.
His offense has been so creative.
Yeah, he's done a really great job.
So he took that quarterback, that running style quarterback, and he's like run with it. You know what I mean? A lot of these guys want to hone down and make them like pocket passers.
Well, his brother did it too.
Yeah. Like he's his Colin Kaepernick, really.
Right.
Basically, like
it's very similar. You know, obviously not stature wise, but it's very similar. So we'll see. So, want to talk a little fantasy here before we get out of here?
I would love to.
I just got a couple. So I usually recommend that we stay away from the Thursday night games. I actually did a couple lineups today. I'm going to include the Thursday night game this week. I'm going to eliminate. You can basically in most leagues on FanDuel and DraftKings you can pick Thursday and Sunday day games. You can do a lot of mix and match. There's a lot of leagues out there. So I'm going Thursday and going to do the Sunday day games. The reason I'm for that is I want to stay away from the Sunday night game because that is running back heaven. And the reason I'm staying away from running back heaven is because I'm going up and I'm going to really roll the dice tonight with the Williams kid, the running back for Indianapolis. All right. Play him against Houston. I really like that play. Of this game, beyond that, this might be a good spot to find a quarterback between these two guys. They're usually pretty affordable. They're usually, kind of around that 3 or 4 range for paying up to get guys. I will be staying away from a lot of Buffalo Bills this weekend, obviously in Denver, because that defense has been so good. Mm-hmm. I would recommend looking at, in my mind, and I'm not trying to be a homer as much as I can. Sam Darnold this week is a great play at quarterback as well. All right. And the Chicago Bears, I'm going to go back to for Sill's pick. He was absolutely right. Because we're saving a lot of money with some of these running back picks, Allen Robinson is a great play this week. I wholeheartedly agree with that.
Didn't mean to steal your thunder.
No, John, I like that. And go down, Washington Redskins. Darius Geis is back. I'm not going to buy in yet, but I think he could have a very good weekend against the Lions.
I'm saying if you're your quarterback help, get that Driscoll kid.
Driscoll could be a guy, but Driscoll's going to be the guy that if you're playing in like the daily game, then you've literally maxed out everything else. And you're right. That is a great play if you've maxed out. So basically when I say maxed out is you've gone for, I think Jarvis Landry is a huge play this weekend for Cleveland. Jarvis Landry scored over 10 points in his last 8 games. Okay. And I think OBJ is a decent play. Pick one or the other, obviously. You never handcuff yourself to both of them, but that's a great point. If you were to go up and do that and maybe even you went up and went for a DeAndre Hopkins or something tonight, then that money that you have spent on those guys can be saved by going with a Driscoll, because as he's proven, and it's not just the body of work, as we said this year in the one game that he's played, it's the body of work going back to Cincinnati.
And he's playing the Washington Redskins.
Yeah. So we'll see. So those are a little bit of the direction I would go this weekend. Like I said, I'm staying far, far away from the San Francisco Green Bay game. Because that is running back heaven. I don't want anybody that I'm playing against to have those guys either. So that's why I say stay out of those leagues. So, yeah.
I just want to say thank you, Melanie, for coming in. And,
thanks for having me.
Let everybody know about these squares
Let's do our
again.
squares again. Yeah, let's talk about it. All right, $5 each. You can PayPal me at melfrancis7@hotmail.com, or you can Venmo me at Melanie-Francis-14. I don't know how Venmo works. Just look it up.
I don't either.
Give me $5. Tell me what game you want. Give me do 15. You can have a square for each. We'll put it back out on our Facebook page on the D-Line's Facebook page on Thanksgiving, so everybody knows where their money is. First half payout is $50. Second half payout or end of game payout is $100. So you can win money. The rest of the money is going to be donated to the American Cancer Society.
It's $450 in prize money.
Put me down for 4 squares, please.
Got you down for 4 squares. Thank you very much. You can, if you win them all, you can win a lot of money that weekend.
And you can choose which game you want. So, if you want 4 squares in just the Bears game, you can do that. If you want to send the squares across all three games, you can do that as well.
Actually, I'm probably going to go 1, 1, and 2 because I've got to make that fucking Saints-Falcons game interesting.
Right, there you go. Exactly. It's a perfect way to make all the games interesting. Put it all in.
There's different strategies here. I know people that want one game in something in each game, or just load up on one.
Load up on one, because then they get more squares. And we'll put, like I said, we'll put it out so you know, so you you'll have it all out Thursday morning of next week. And I, like I said, I appreciate everybody donating. The funds go to the American Cancer Society. We're fighting breast cancer, so.
Yep, that's something that affects a lot of people out there, and
men and women.
Yep, it's
big fan.
Yeah, so thank you guys, and we'll share it again a couple more times on the D-Line and get all that info out there.
And being next week is the week of Thanksgiving, we will be doing a special edition of the D-Line at 1:00 here and
on Friday. Blackout Friday.
Blackout Friday.
Blackout Friday.
Yeah.
And if Melanie, give us the winners, we'll pick the winners and we'll announce them live on air. And so that was
we'll definitely
I do have to, before we go here, I do have one quick shout out. My best friend is a coach at SUNY Maritime, football coach at SUNY Maritime. They're going and playing the best team in the country this weekend in Mount Union. They got an automatic bid to the playoffs in Division III football. So good luck to the Maritime Privateers this weekend. It's going to be a tough one, but we're rooting for them. So
cool.
Nice.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Mel. Thank you guys for
good to see you.
Being you.
Go Pack, go.
I'm going to leave you back with that Steelers fight. Talk to you guys later. Bye.
Oh my God, shit has hit the fan. Look at the replay. Garrett sacks Rudolph. They end up making out of the floor for a little bit, talking a little shit, and then watch this. Garrett rips off Rudolph's head, and then he fucking bops him right on the forehead, and then all hell breaks loose. My goodness gracious. The NFL hates to see this, Peter. Obviously, Rudolph a little bit outmatched, but this is on another fucking level. Rudolph gets up, talks shit. Garrett rips literally his fucking head off, holds the helmet, and then he just fucking goes all full Mortal Kombat right to his forehead. Punches being thrown. I mean, the emotions in this stadium for the 72 people that are still here. All I know is this, Peter. That's going to be... Watch this. Boom! Right there. Bop. And Mason Rudolph is fucking goo-goo gaga on the sidelines. That's not good. The NFL's not going to like this.
You're listening to the D-Line.
It's Bowling for the Bahamas and Celebrity Bowling Challenge to benefit the Bahamas Disaster Relief Fund. Sunday, December 1st, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. AMF Panorama Lanes, 1724 Genesee Street, Utica. Come have fun and enjoy a few games of bowling for a good cause. There will be prizes, food and drink specials, and some special challenges mixed in along the way. $20 per bowler or $100 per team includes 2 games and shoe rental. All proceeds go directly to the Bahamas Relief Foundation. That's Bowling for the Bahamas and Celebrity Bowling Challenge, presented by Disruption Network, Holy Pozzoli, and AMF Panorama Lanes. Sunday, December 1st, 1724 Genesee Street, Utica.
So you just bought your dream home, and now it's time to move. Let's face it, nobody likes to move. All the packing, unpacking, lifting, upstairs, downstairs, and broking everything, including your back. Let the professionals at EJA Moving Company take all the stress and pain out of your move. Competitively priced moving. relocation services, office moves, and complete packing and unpacking services. They work with everybody to make it simple and easy for you to move and relocate. Call EJA Moving Company at 315-335-0516. When it's time to relocate, have EJA Moving do all the work for you. Hit them up online, ejamoving.com.
Hey, Disruption Network. This is Mike Sacco, the general manager at Nye Volkswagen of Rome. If you don't know me by name, it's only because you have not received the best deal. There's only one reason to leave Utica, and that's to come see me in Rome and get the best deal on your next new, pre-owned, or certified VW. Mention that you heard this ad from Disruption Network and receive $250 off your next vehicle purchase. You'll know why our customers say, I love my Nye VW. Come see us at 5865 Rome Taberg Road in Rome, or visit us online at nyvwofrome.com.
Want to know what's going on at the D? Hit up DisruptionNetwork.net and check out our events calendar, brought to you by the Events Co. Find out about upcoming guests, special events, concerts, show schedules, community activities, and more. Get connected at DisruptionNetwork.net.